Check, check, check. What's going on,
Yo,
y'all?
what's
What's
going
going on,
on?
fellas? How y'all doing?
What's happening?
You already know.
What's good? Y'all good? Y'all good? Everybody straight?
Yep.
What up? What's
Blessed
Already,
up?
Monday.
already. Well,
Right?
welcome everybody to the SPS podcast, man. Statistics, problem solutions, to where we bring y'all the problems facing our black community and we offer y'all solutions through our statistics. We're going to welcome our panelists to the stage and we're going to get straight to it. Y'all welcome Bino to the stage. What's up, brother?
What's
Yep.
happening, gang?
Chilling, chilling. I can't call it. How you?
Hey, man, bless.
Already. Y'all welcome CJ to the panel. What's up, Brody?
What's good, bro?
What up?
Already. And last but not least, y'all welcome Wardy to the panel. What's up, brother?
What's going on?
Already. How y'all feeling? How y'all doing?
All
Living
right,
the
man.
American dream.
I hear that. I definitely hear that. And I'm your host, Jay Strada. Y'all are tapped into the SPS podcast. Make sure y'all go to the YouTube channel, subscribe, hit the like button, and y'all join us in the comments, man. The comments are already lighting up, believe it or not, man. We're gonna get to some of them here shortly. Before we even start the show, they get straight to it. Shout out to T. Shalom. What's up, brother? What's good? What's good?
Blessings,
Blessed
brother.
with you.
Peace, peace, peace.
Uh, Negus Afro Dane Doll has a host of things that they're talking about. We're gonna get to it though. Let's kind of pull up their comments as they come. They was actually playing as we were going through the stats. So the first thing is they still slaves in Libya. Nigerians still banned from Dubai as a Tyrian. I don't know what the Dusties is celebrating in Alabama. That's tough.
Ooh.
Mm,
They said only trash bags celebrating Alabama brawl. Wow.
She coming.
And
She
they
coming with. She coming with shots, ain't she?
you never
Mm.
used to stand up for yourselves. That might be why you party over that episode. Like
Ooh.
she was
She.
going in.
Yeah.
She not finished,
Mm.
bro. She not finished. Hold on, hold on. Imagine Eritrea celebrating all their wars they had with their neighbors, Sudan, Yemen, Djibouti, and Ethiopia that they won. You think Eritreans celebrating every war battle they engage in?
Bro, she is
Only
coming
black
in hot.
American feminine men do that.
Mm.
What the
Nah, we
Hey,
got. I'm
boy?
though.
gonna get through it. She not finished. Hold on, she not finished. Disgrace and shameless beta male simps. Ruby Rose should not see masculinity in Black America. She is Eritrean. Akata got highlighted in his dreadlock. Jesus Christ, you more feminine those Eritrean uh,
Trans. What the?
transgenders. Well, first off,
What the?
now to give her clarity to that, this is actually my natural lock color. I've never dyed my hair since I've had them. These locks are mine. My hair is just a real sandy brown color, but I appreciate the actual notice. He's feminine because he had those eyes colors. His black mom probably calling him Cynthia G is right. Yeah, I love my mom. I actually got a lot of my looks from my mother. And then she said, Jay Strada looked like a true sugar booty. That's
Yo, what's wrong with
hilarious,
her?
yo.
What?
No,
What
she
is that?
good, bro. Listen, man. I don't know who that is, bro. And honestly, we welcome all. Nah, hold on. They was like blocker. Nah, we don't block people around here, man. All opinions are welcome. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know it might seem a little
Man,
tough,
you got
but
boy.
but you know, but like I said, bro, listen, man. What we do here, man, is like I said, we on YouTube. The shots were fire. We
Yeah,
received your
yeah.
message,
That's how I think to myself. It's YouTube. It's YouTube.
and I will say this: I did drop the link in Streamyard. Negus Afro Dane Doll. The link is in Streamyard. If you want to come up on the panel and talk about some of it, that's great. Like I
Bring
said, we
your
always
ass.
Hey,
up
hey,
here
hey,
for
hey! Before you keep
enlightenment.
going, Strata, I got,
Uh
I
huh.
got a couple of questions, and I know this ain't
Bring
gonna do nothing.
what's
You
the name? What's
good,
the name
bro?
I
again?
hold on,
Afro
CJ.
Negus
Dane
Afro
something.
Dane Doll.
CJ, hold on,
Bring your
CJ.
ass,
Hold on, CJ. Hold on, CJ. Hold on. Please give me 1 minute, son. Listen, bro.
boy.
Listen, bros. I just want to say this. For one, is she in Africa right now?
Probably, I think, based on the
Where
comments.
is she talking?
No. If she's watching, I just want to
Uh,
know if she's in Africa, and I also want to know is that her given name or the name she has adopted through her knowledge or her studies. And the reason why I say that is because it's easy for us to send shots through YouTube through comments, but
Absolutely.
are you really stepping in Africa being a part of that help that you are speaking of to us on this pod,
Yeah,
as well, and as well as that, whatever we do say, we like to we don't do insults because we are mature men and women. Difference of
absolutely.
opinions is fine, but once you once you try to make a point through an insult, I disregard anything you say. I don't give a fuck how much
True
knowledge you got.
indeed.
So move on. Let's carry on.
Absolutely. But I
Better
definitely
than me.
nah, I welcome it all, man. Y'all gotta know, bro. This is a part of the game. She had another follow up. I'm not trying to be rude or undiplomatic, but it is true. I seen Negroid males for sale in Libya. 16-year-old Libyan Arab boys with AK-47 selling adult Nigerian male illegal refugees for $300 as farm workers. So again, she's speaking from the motherland. You know what I'm saying? So again, we welcome you. First off, I'm glad
Absolutely.
that you were able to catch the stream. Hopefully, through this live and broadcast, you're getting to know more about us as men, and it'll give you a little bit of clarity. But no, we don't take it as an insult. But you guys are slaves in North Africa today. Uh,
Absolutely. Absolutely,
yeah,
they are.
absolutely. Yeah. So like I said, I mean, even through your initial observation of us, you do have facts in there. You know what I'm saying? And I can get past the insults because again, we all grown. I'm a big boy. You know what I mean? I've been called worse. I've done worse to people for calling me less. So you take it all in stride. But again, you're more than welcome to hit the link. Like I said, I put it in the chat. I'll repost it again for you because I'm interested. Like if you're in another country and you tapping in, we would definitely love to have you on the panel. But let's get to
And also
tonight's
give us some
subject. Go ahead.
solutions or give us some ideas that
Yeah,
we can do as
absolutely.
Black Americans, as the average Black
Yeah,
man American, that can help. If you got some solutions, because it's statistics, problems, and solutions. So with the stats, that you put out and the problems that you put out, if you could come behind it with some solutions, that'd be awesome.
Buster Rhymes Akon obtained as holy religion. Your Black Lives is spendable according to reality in the Islamic world that Buster Rhymes and Akon obtained as holy religion for blacks. Again, I dropped the stream yard for you again. I'm gonna respect, and every time you comment, we'll definitely get it in. Like I said, you're more than welcome to join the panel. Like I said, we welcome healthy discourse here, man. I know the boys are chomping at the bit, but again,
Hey,
I would love to have a perspective from Africa to kind of,
Absolutely,
give us
absolutely.
that different opinion. He asked if she's Muslim. I'm not sure about that, T. I'm not sure if she's Muslim or not, but to speak.
if she come on the panel, we can find out if she's Muslim,
Absolutely.
where
Yeah,
she's
she could
from, what she
cam
look
up,
like,
but even
talking
if she
regular.
wanna, talk it from there, it's cool. Let's see. She got one more. Even most deaf support Islam, yet speak against slavery of blacks in Africa and Dubai and the Gulf states.
That's a video. I've seen
Okay.
that. I've seen that. That's about the only thing she says so far that I know for a fact. I've seen a video of that.
Yeah, I think that that's an interesting topic. But we're gonna get on brand and what we talking about this evening. Shout out to Negus. Shout out to Shadija in the chat. Shout out to T. Tonight we're talking about breaking the cycle, unveiling the reality of black poverty. And to start this pod, I think I'm gonna go first to our statistics, like we always do. We're gonna open up the show. I'm gonna get some statistics ready, you all, and kind of get y'all feedback. But before I go any further, y'all welcome Brittany to the panel. What's up, Brittany?
What up, Brett?
Hey y'all, I'm cooking. I said I'm keeping my camera off since y'all want me to be still. I ain't gonna be able
You
to be still, but
good?
I am here. And look, walked on the tail end. I don't know who baby girl is, but I'm gonna come from my man. I don't know what the hell he said, but it was some kind of uproar
I
with
Britt,
me
see, Britt,
having
we was
this.
on the same energy because I was like,
Look,
hold
okay, I was
up.
like, wait a minute, hold on, what the fuck going on here? And I was like,
I was
hold
like,
on,
I'm pretty sure that's Buddy's natural hair. Don't do
they
that.
always start them
Right.
back up because I'm like,
That
wait,
shit is
what did
that's
I miss?
funny.
So, but okay,
That's
but I am
hilarious.
here, so I'll be tapping in. I'm still listening. I'll be
Love,
camming up when I need to speak. Okay.
love, Brittany. Always love, man. And we're gonna get to these stats, man. We're gonna get y'all opinions on them. That was hilarious, by the way. So black people in poverty. In 2021, 19.5% of black people were living below the poverty line, with 8.2% of white people and 8.1% of Asian. 54% of black men born in poverty remain in poverty between the ages of 28 and 35. White men at 22%, white women at 29%, and black women at 34%. When a parent is allowed government benefits, it makes their children 6 times more likely to also receive government funding. 35% of black households in 2012 pre-tax income fell between $12,500 and $37,499. And in 2021, black spending power reached 1.6 trillion, but the net worth of black people declined by 14%. Gonna leave those stats up for a minute.
Bruh.
We're gonna get y'all opinions on those. We'll leave it up for a few more moments. It's a lot to take in. It's a lot of interesting statistics up here. All right.
That last one is wild.
So, CJ, what are your thoughts? Which one stood out to you?
The last one. The last one, wow. Like we dropping trillions of dollars on pretty much materialistic things. It's more than likely materialistic things like the Jordans, the name brand stuff, the jewelry, the fancy cars. When all that money could have went towards actually building up yourself, your community, your family, and whatnot. But the fact there was a 14% decline, though they spent trillions of dollars on whatever, it's like, well, where'd the money go that you spent on? Like,
To other
that's
things.
why.
That's a fact. Bino, which one stood out to you?
Like CJ said, the last one, the
The
last one
last one.
declined 14%, but it's still spending 1.9 trillion. That's wow. That showed us. Well, so we're gonna talk about one of the reasons why we can't get out of poverty. That last one, damn sure, tell you why.
That's a
Hmm.
fact. Wardy, what you got, brother?
I think that 54% of men who are born in poverty stay in poverty for a certain
Yep.
amount of time. That's like it's over half. So it's like that's a crazy statistic to me.
Yeah, and I think that was the one that stuck out to me the most. It goes to show you that poverty, almost in a way, is hereditary. It seems like those conditions you grow up in, you get so comfortable in them. It's so easy for you to lean back and lay in that and accept it to be what it is. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Shout out to T
Yeah.
said from November 1st to December 23rd, so-called black people spend $8 billion from November 1st to December 23rd. That is tough. That's
That
And
makes
you
tough.
know
sense.
why? You know that's holiday season.
Holidays.
That's
Yep.
holidays. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Ain't gonna
I
lie, I
don't know,
dropped a couple hundred
man.
on some Lego sets.
That
Mm-hmm.
shit is tough. So we're gonna get into the first part of our first video, which is why are black people so poor? It gives some reasons, some breakdowns. Then we're gonna I'm gonna ask you all a question about the factors for poverty. Then we're gonna get to it.
What's up, family? This is Caden with Black Finance, and today we're going to talk about the top 3 reasons why the black community is so poor and some of the things that we can do to change it. On this channel, we talk about tips and tricks to help you build wealth and become financially savvy. So if you haven't already, please subscribe, like the video. Did I say subscribe already? Yeah, make sure you subscribe. Here are the top 3 reasons why the black community is so poor. Reason number 1, the black community is poor because we do not have enough business owners. Most communities, when they come to America, the first thing they do is establish an economic base. They start creating barbershop, grocery stores, they open 7-Elevens, they create retail outlets and restaurants, all the basic amenities that they may need as a community. Some did it because at the time it was difficult to find work in a majority white society, but most because this allowed them to employ members of their community that probably would not go on to receive a higher education and who would otherwise remain unemployed. See, while there were times in American history why black people did focus on building their own business, after integration, most of the efforts were placed on politics and getting a corporate job. While a landscaping business owner or construction business owner could easily make a take home pay well in the 6 figures, and at the same time employ members of their community, this type of work was replaced by the black professional, who at times make a lot less, sometimes $50,000 or $60,000 a year, and did not employ any members of their community. Also, the black professional and college graduate quickly became more of a status symbol within the black community, kind of making it less likely that people will go out and start their own business, regardless of the level of income you're able to generate as a business owner. You can have an MBA with no money in the bank and probably be held in higher regard than the man who owns his own carpenter business with $1 million net worth. To change this, the black community must focus on developing businesses if they ever hope to become wealthy as a community one day. The second reason the black community is so poor is because we do not support the few black businesses that we do have. In the book The Jewish Phenomenon by Steven Silberger, he said, "Take care of your own and they will take care of you." He talks about a Jewish belief that if your group depends on the funding of others, it will be subordinate to that funding group. Because of many of the hardships that the Jewish people have faced, they have developed a sense of economic responsibility for each other, where they pride themselves in forming communities and supporting each other's businesses. They know that their shared survival might depend on it one day, and are determined not to relive any of their past mistakes. There's a lot that the black community can learn from the Jewish community. Support your community, and your community will one day be in a position to support you. This isn't to say that you hate on anyone else's community. Quite the opposite. But when your group does not have any economic power, people will take advantage of you. All the shooting of black people by police officers could be tied back to the lack of economic power within the black community. There is very little.
We'll end it there.
It's a lot.
So,
That was a lot.
yeah, that was a lot. Like I told y'all, man, it's gonna be a heavier show. You know what I'm saying? Like we really gonna get to it this evening. I promise y'all. So, based on the video, the question I want to pose to you all this evening is, what factors contribute to black poverty? What factors contribute to black poverty? Let's go with Wardy. Based on the video and the question on the screen, what factors do you think contribute the most to black poverty?
Us not taking care of ourselves, us not being there and then cycling our money through our own community, and always want to go outside of our community to spend our money on designer. You know what I'm saying? Special names, all those. You know what I'm saying? Designers. You could tell that's not from our community, so that's why we spend 1.6 trillion dollars, and none of that circulates back to ourselves. So yeah.
That's a fact. Bino, based on the video and the question, what factors do you think contribute to black poverty?
Based based on the video, I might as well number what he said for number one, because I mean it's gonna be I'm gonna say the same thing and articulate it way less. Added on to what Wardy's saying and an exclamation mark on education, but not the American education because the education system that we are all under now just teaches us how to work for the rich. That's all the education system basically do is makes us smart enough and accountable enough to work for them.
Mhm.
But I do want to say this and not trying to bear off the question. Number two is where it at, man. Number two, the Jewish community been figured this shit out, man. They figured out capitalism and they figure out this whole money thing. And I agree with he said number two. The black community can learn a lot from the Jewish community because they started on the lesson end just like we did. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna get too deep into the beliefs and all that because every time we attack the Jewish community in America, we attack them over money. It's always money and the control that we're attacking them over that they obviously been figured out. You can't hate them for it. You need to learn from them. But as far as the question itself, with what he said and what that video said in the number one platform, the number one
Got you.
slide.
CJ, what do you got?
I would say promoting the wrong or celebrating the wrong things that would benefit us. The fact that I've me growing up, I never thought that a person going to college was a big thing. But when somebody be like so and so going off to college, they got accepted into so and so. But then when I had my dad explain to me like the difference between going to the military and going to the college and how you go to college and you get educated, but you go into debt and most people get those degrees and don't even go get a job based off that degree.
Yeah,
So that's why I didn't go to college first. I went straight to the military, regardless of how good my grades was. But I felt like that's something that people should have been promoting more of, either going to the military or going to a trade school, actually learning a skill, or taking time to learn how to be an entrepreneur or something. Like, not just send them off to college and put them in more debt. And sometimes you don't even make it through college, and then now you stuck with the debt.
Yeah, that
And you
makes
know that's
sense.
crazy because like back to the man with the video, he said people that go to college it be more of a status symbol
Yep,
than the person that got his own construction business and worth $1 million. You know
yep.
what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So
For
it
real.
goes. It shows you why we chase after the image because it starts from even the image as been going to college is just the image. They ain't
Right.
putting you in no higher class than nobody. It's the image, like you said.
I'm
Go
And,
about
ahead.
to
and
say
one
CJ
and one
spoke on
example,
what I was gonna add. Go ahead, CJ.
but one example, I'll let you go. One example of that is, I went to school, I went to college after the military, and I'm about to push six figures. Not officially there, but I'm about to hit six figures. But it took, like, this long to get to that point. I know a guy right now. He dropped out of high school in ninth grade. He's a two-time felon. That man makes more than me to this day, driving
With his own
trucks.
business. Okay, yeah.
Driving
Okay.
trucks. He a cool dude, but that man, think about what his education level cap was, his lifestyle was before he got to where he's at now.
Mhm.
But yeah, he's like 2 years older than me. I think he's 32, 33, and he makes a lot more than me. It's just trucks. So that goes to show you that going to college and all this stuff ain't necessary. It ain't mandatory. It, like the dude said, you end up just working for somebody else. You getting trained to work for somebody else.
Mhm. And that's
What do
I
you
was
got
gonna
on it, Brittany?
add on to what CJ was saying because I'm a living testimony of that. Going to college, debt from all of that, and guess what? Working for the government. Oh, you work for the government. I be looking like, and what that mean? I ain't making what you may think I make. I make decent, but I ain't where I want to be. And then if y'all think back to high school, they kept saying you go to school, then you go to school. They never push being your own boss or trying to, they never push that. So yeah, going to college, I want to go to college. Even like CJ said, people get in the community. He's the first to go to college from our generation, but he go to college. He got over 60 something thousand dollars in debt. To go teach at a school making 37,000. Like what am I really bragging about? You know what I'm
I
saying?
will.
Please
I,
tell me.
yeah, I will say
Wise
this. I
man
think.
told me it ain't what.
Go ahead,
Well,
Water.
nah. I said, wise man told me it ain't what you make, it's what you can retain.
That part ain't what you make is what you can
Right.
retain. How much can you keep? I will say this about college. I think a lot of times college has been misused only because a lack of knowledge on college. What I mean by that is it isn't the college that's the bad part. It's the fact that no one set any of us down, our guidance counselors, mothers, parents, no one set you down and told you that you have to leverage your education. It comes at a cost. So if you know that your education before you take any class and walk on the campus, you're paying $50,000 to $60,000, then it doesn't make sense to major in anything that averages less than that a year. Because even if let's say you like we'll use mechanical engineers, industrial engineers, biomedical engineers, they come out entry level at about 65, 70, right? With decent experience. So it would make sense if you're going to go to make sure you're going in a career that can pay off your debts within maybe a year or three, because we know your entire income and salary isn't going to your student debts. But make sure that if you are talking to your children about going to college, or if you yourself are thinking about going to college, that you factor in the cost, and it has to be a return on the investment, because college is nothing more than a $50,000, $60,000 investment. But I think that's what we failed our people. A lot of us were first generation college goers, and because we were first generation, a lot of the things we had to learn in the midst of trying to figure it out. So you in school trying to figure out what you want to major in, and you're bumped up against what am I going to do when I get out, and the fact that there's a constant shift in job markets. Meaning, when I came out of school in 2004, that was right before that recession hit, right? So going to college was something that was pushed on to me, which was fine. Had no problem going. But I know a lot of people with doctorates that ended up working at Bed Bath and Beyond, just because when you went to college 4 years ago, the market crashed. Like, no, that's a true story, Woody. Like, I know cats that were in school with
Yeah.
doctorates working at Bed Bath and Beyond because the degree they got in became oversaturated very quickly. Also,
Mm.
the HBCUs, I'm gonna talk about that real quick. A lot of the times there was a lot of pride going to HBCUs, but the problem is you had students that were enrolled their freshman year, and by their junior year, their accreditation for the actual school and college they were in wasn't accredited. So that means you spent 3 years getting a degree that's worthless because no one in
Mm.
the industry recognizes the school that you went to for what you majored in.
Boy,
Yep.
So you know what I mean?
that's
Like
wild.
it's a lot when it comes to that school shit. And I still say, like you said, it is an option if you know what you're going there for. Meaning, I would rather a child go to community college first. Figure out, get your general ed classes done, kind of get a foothold for the college experience. Figure out what it is you want to do because it might be a shorter way there. Meaning, if you want to be a doctor, of course, we know you got to go to school for that, right? You got to have your degrees, got to go to med school, right? But if you want to do something simple like design clothes, you can start an LLC right out of school with that. You can go to a college of design and have your LLC and sell your clothing line while you go to school for it. But again, in that situation and instance, a degree don't mean much. Another thing to my young ladies, stop going to school majoring in humanities and social sciences. That shit is a dead degree. If you're not trying to go all the way to get your doctorate, you are wasting your fucking time and your mama's money.
Or
Meaning, if you're
psychology.
or psychology. If you're not trying to go the full distance in these social sciences, stay away from them because they're a money pit. And a lot of women go there because they love to think about and they love to speak about how the mind works and all of that. But when you actually compare your degree to the types of jobs that you qualify for in your field, you realize there aren't a lot of jobs, and the ones that they are, they're paying less than 50,000. So you just went to school and wasted 4 years, and now you're 20,000 in debt. Even if you take your entire first year salary and put it towards your student debt, I'm
And I,
done. My
and I
bad,
think
but
we
that
got to
that really triggers
recognize.
me. That triggers me, bro.
And you absolutely right. And like just to go to the forefront and add on to that, I think a lot of times we was, especially in the poor communities, we was because I'm behind you in 2005, and college was push,
Hmm.
push, push. And I think a lot of times the reason why college was pushed on us is because we was still chasing the idea that college was a privilege. Before, back in them times when black people wasn't allowed to go to college, certain colleges unless they were them small HBCUs, our grandmothers and grandparents, like we still pushing that idea. It was pushed on us like better go to college, better go to college. Like, but you know what I'm saying? Because at one time we couldn't go to college. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? So it's
right.
like we still chasing that thought for them. Like
Hmm.
it's a privilege to be able to go and get a higher education. But like you said, if you ain't in certain fields, it really don't be no need to go to college unless you're gonna go there and you're gonna keep paying all the way up till you get your doctorate's degree in that shit or something. Like
Yep.
with a lot of stuff. You feel me? With a lot of stuff, there ain't even doctors and lawyers. If it ain't that type of, engineering, like you saying, like, bro, I don't see.
Don't even mess with it. You be
Like
better
you said,
off
go to a
getting a
community
trade.
college to get that knowledge on that particular
Right.
thing. Be up out of there and keep doing your thing.
For real,
Fact.
because it all is circular, man. And like you said, that college thing is becoming a hustle more so than a place, an institute of higher learning. I learned a lot of things in college, but like you said, that debt is real. You know what I mean? Like you gotta pay that shit off. It'll mess your credit up, and so just to beat on your chest and say you got it, you
What
got
the
to make
folks
sure
say
it
about
pays
getting
off.
paid, I don't turn over to the Lord. They'll figure it out.
That part, that part. We're gonna get to our comments, man, and we're gonna keep it rolling. Let's start. We'll start here. So T was like, yes, shout out to T. He said, I'm one of those people. Shout out to Rita. She said, college ain't for everyone. That's a fact.
Nope.
T, STEM. That's a fact. Science,
I
technology,
remember
engineering,
that. I
mathematics.
remember that.
Yes, those are the schools that will have a higher turnover when it comes to you going to college.
I
For
And I
wouldn't
feel
real.
like
want to
those are
go.
four main reasons that college makes sense. Just about the
Yes.
almost the only four to me. Almost
Yep.
the only four.
I remember they
No,
had
for
that
real,
at
bro.
in Bertie, and I wasn't allowed to
Hmm.
go because I got into too many fights. That's why I couldn't go.
That's hilarious. Rita said, that's why I tell my children to go above the research of what they learn in school. That's a fact. She
Hmm.
said, exactly,
Fact.
Jay. Shout out to Yayos, J.W. Fleming, MFA, facts. T with the facts. Nurses, that's real. So, like I said, man, we seem to be rocking right through it, man. I think we'll go straight into the next video. Hold on, let's see. We got one more comment that popped in real quick. I tell my students major in English when in doubt. They'll always need writers. That's a fact, and I think that with the English major, be very sure what you plan to do with that prior to majoring in that. Because, like you said, writers are always needed, and people don't think about it. So, the instruction manuals and everything that you ever bought anywhere in life that has to be written by someone, right? And like
Hmm.
like Yayos was saying, it's a very niche market, but it's a huge demand and not a lot of competition. So, if my daughter, at 3, of course that's a little farther off, but when she comes to me and she wants to start this college thing, we're going to really talk about the hustle and how it makes sense for her. What do you want to do? What's the cheapest way for us to get that done versus what school, what college you want to go to? It's like, nah, tell me what you want to do and let's work it backwards. You know what I'm saying? And see
Right.
which path makes the most sense.
Cause even with an English major, and if I would have went to school anything, if I would have thought of anything to go to college for, I probably would have been English. I really went in as what they call it, undecided. I
Yep.
went into college as an undecided major. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how I lost and didn't. Okay, we just pushed on. It was like go because they say it's the right thing to do. Go. But even as an English major, it's like what you gonna be a writer in though? Because for a lot of gigs that it take for a writer, you still don't need to put yourself in that much debt to be a
To get
writer,
it.
as long as you understand English and know how to read and get all your
Tapped in.
dot your I's, cross your T's when it comes
Hell
to
yeah.
pronunciation. Like
And
what you writing for to be had to go to school for that though? Like
And
who
I'm
you
gonna tell
writing
you,
for?
I'm gonna get even more creative than that. Bino, let's go a step deeper. At 14, 15 is the perfect time for you all to leverage your children into these fields. Push them in as unpaid interns. A lot of uh, a lot of bigger corporations and stuff, they have grants and programs to where they'll take your 14, 15-year-old and just let them shadow them, right? You can build a network, like you said, back to your writers. Let's say you got a part of the Writers Guild, which is the screenwriters that write for a lot of the movies that we see. If at 14, 15, you can get your child to mentor or be a mentee to a screenwriter, they'll already have a built-in network and that can probably tell them the best way to go about doing it. And that's with any field career. When y'all have these teenagers, man, push them into what they say they want to do. Let them be around people that are actually doing it because you might be the changing factor that make them course correct. They might be like, yo, that sounded cool, but I don't really know what's up. You know what I'm saying?
There was a program when I was in California. There was a program in San Diego called Suit and Ties, and I don't know if it's still there, but that was a program where at 16, if you were ever considered like wanting to try to become a lawyer or a paralegal, they had a program where you was able to get with an actual lawyer and you was able to shadow them like on Mondays and I think it was Wednesdays during
Yep.
court sessions and learn from them. You had to take notes and all this stuff, and that stuff doing that with them actually became college credits towards like you trying to go to a
Your
certain college
degree.
and whatnot. So it helped them out. Like it was some kids that actually did
Absolutely.
that program. So but they started at 16, so that's great though.
Yep, you got to start them early, and even if they're exposed to and they don't like it, I'd rather you figure that out at 15 and 16 than to be
Then that
20 in college
yes.
in debt. Like I don't like this shit no more. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
I think exposure is the main thing. Shout out to Negus Afro Dane Doll. She came back. She said, "What do you expect from a male group that begs for reparations and feel defeated to another male group?" Uh,
Is that a
I
question?
think
I think she
I
was
think
talking
that
about. I think she
speaking
was
to
talking
the
about the Jewish
poverty,
thing.
the poverty mentality.
Oh, okay.
Sit down and waiting for reparations. Shout out to Years said that's why I said English, bro. You got video games, movies, journalists, technical writers, lawyers. A lady paid me $2,500 to edit a book she wrote. That is real. Wow. Tigray don't demand reparations from Eritrea. They would never lose face like Black America's Tigray have manhood and legacy of Axum.
I
It's
wonder
too
Uh,
many compare and
What
What
face
the
contrast.
Black
fuck is she
America?
talking about, bro? What do that
Bro,
What
shit
face
she's
mean,
Black
bro?
America ever had? What she talking about? What face did Black America lose? Black America ain't never had a face.
she too busy comparing, bro.
yeah. But
Next time
yeah.
she make it
What is he talking about, bro? What is a Tigray? What is a Tigray? What is all this shit that she talking about, bro? You know
He's
what I'm saying?
But
I don't
again,
even know what
but
the
comparing
but
fuck.
like
now
he's
hold
comparing
on. To
like an
be
African
fair,
culture to an American culture. And it's
yeah,
like you can't be comparing the two like that. It is
You
literally
can't.
two different lifestyles, two different.
Yes.
Technically, what's over there is real culture, real culture. While in America, it's a subculture, at least for Black people, because we don't really have a
Yeah.
locked in culture over here. It's a
Right.
subculture. It's not a legit
That's a
thing.
good point.
Yeah. We
That's a
never
good
we
So
had
point.
a
have
for
been
her to
face.
try to
That's what I'm
displaced.
compare us
saying.
like that, you can't be doing that. You trying to compare us like you trying to compare
Africa, you can't
an
do that.
apple to a fucking potato. You can't be doing that. Like stop.
It's not, we can't worry about nothing in Africa neither. We are Americans. We can't do nothing about Africa. Africa can't do nothing about us. like CJ said, you can't even bring that up as a debate. Africa and America can't do that.
I would love for her to cam up.
She not.
Again, Negus,
She
Black
not.
America ain't never have
Negus,
a face to
Afro Dane
claim.
Doll.
So
I would love for you to cam up, man. Like I said, I'm gonna
She
keep
not.
reading your comments. You keep posting them. We gonna keep reading them straight like that. We gonna welcome T up to the panel. What's up, T?
Shalom, all praises, my brother.
Blessings. How are you, brother?
I'm good, my brother. I'm good.
Good. What do you think about the topic so far? Where we've been going with it?
Great topic. Great. Absolutely great. We, our people need to see what the hell is going on in this world to figure out how we can better us.
That part. That part. That's a fact. That is a fact, man. And with that being said, we're going to get into the poverty and the developing brain of both children and adults that live in poverty. We're going to ask y'all to mute up and we're going to get straight to it.
Upward social mobility is one of the basic ideas behind American society. The idea that your kids just might end up doing better in life than you did. But of course, what we see is that kids who are born poor and underprivileged often tend to grow up into adults who are poor, underemployed, unemployed. The cycle seems to be getting harder to break, and it turns out there may be a medical reason for this. A study published this summer by the American Medical Association found that the brains of poor kids may actually develop differently from those of their better off peers. Specifically, these doctors did some brain scans and found changes to the frontal lobe that governs executive function, that's planning, organizing, paying attention, remembering details, and the temporal lobe, where the ability to understand and use language is centered. Both these areas were underdeveloped in the poorer kids they examined. There's all sorts of possible reasons for this. Differences in nutrition, certainly, but also a relative lack of stimulation, lack of social interaction, parental involvement. We all know these are dangers to impoverished kids, and it looks as though these things can subtly, but profoundly impact brain development, setting kids back years, affecting them for their whole lives, really, and making it all the more difficult to give them any meaningful help later on.
Now, hold that thought. Hold that thought because we're going to play another video to see how growing up in poverty affects adults. Let's get
Adults
to
who grow
that.
up in poverty may have weaker brain function and poorer overall health. That's according to a new study. Researchers collected data on more than 20,000 mostly older adults from 16 European countries. They asked participants to recall parts of their childhood, including their socioeconomic status. They found those who experienced lower socioeconomic positions as children scored lower on cognitive tests as adults. Those subjects also showed more signs of depression and were less physically active. The study didn't identify the specific causes for these effects, but it's just the latest research that shows poverty is associated with broad impacts on cognition. It also affects.
All right. Heavy stuff.
Man.
Like I said, man, we going there. We going there tonight, y'all.
Okay.
So the question I want to pose to y'all, based on the videos, poverty and mentality. Do y'all believe poverty can be hereditary? Let's start with
let me
Bino.
go. Let me go. It's definitely hereditary, bro. The black man that came from Africa and into this civilization of this European country started from. We've been started from as a guinea pig. You know what I mean? Like from day one, man ain't never came over. Black man ain't never came over here and had nothing. We say poverty. Why we say poverty? It's because of what country we live in. You got many countries, many corners of this world who have way less than us, who are very well happy because they don't have to chase what they've been taken to, what they've been kidnapped and taken to. We are still living in their world. This is their world. This country, the European country, is their world. Is their world that we living in. So we in poverty because not what we don't have, but what we trying to get. Because what they have presented that you need to have. You
Makes
could go.
sense.
If we was in the island somewhere with way less, we'd be wandering around, happy as hell, because we don't know nothing of the stuff the standard that they set. They don't. People don't know nothing of that. You know what I'm saying? So poverty is created because of what they created as a country. That's in the first place. So it's hereditary for sure. You born right into it. It's in your blood. So trying to break that is harder than even this conversation we having. The understanding of why we in poverty ain't really have really nothing to do with. It has something to do with now what we spend our money on and all this other stuff. But that shit started from day one. And the first time they took the first African off that damn boat and put him on his land, it's poverty started then.
All right, let's go with T. Poverty and mentality. Can it be hereditary?
I would say absolutely. Two scientific notions of why. Scientists took a mouse, a father mouse, and they put him in a maze. And according to wherever he went in that maze, they would shock him. After that mouse had kids, the baby mouse would know not to go to that corner of the cage. That's the same thing with us. Like just like Bino said, if we were already into their programming to be what we are, then the whole masses of the program is keeping us in a situation where we are. It was never meant for us to be at a certain level. Yes, they'll take a certain people of us and say, look, I'm gonna give this nigga $1 million. I'm gonna give that nigga $1 million. But when you got over 100 million people, that one or two people don't account to for everybody else who don't have $1 million. It's all
Hmm.
systematic.
Mm.
If the people that are running the system hates us, and we see that they hate us for over 400 years, it's not going to change now. Yeah, they'll give this nigga some money. Yeah, they'll give that nigga a record deal. They'll give that nigga a shooter's honor. The bulk of us are still in the ghetto. We still in crack infested neighborhoods. We still don't have no money. We on welfare. We have generations of people that are on welfare.
That part.
Generations. We talking about from grandmother, mother to daughter are on welfare.
That's a
That's
fact.
sad.
That's a fact. Let's
I,
go
I
to Wardy.
I
Poverty and
mean,
mentality. Can it be hereditary?
I mean, it can be hereditary, but I think it's more of a mindset. Like once you get comfortable, getting handouts and things, and kind of, what I'm saying? It's like I don't think it's more hereditary. I think it's more like the mindset of being taken care of and not having to do shit, being lazy. I'm saying that's what I feel.
Makes sense. CJ, can it be hereditary? Speaking of
Um,
poverty.
I'm gonna say yeah. Um, it's hereditary because pretty much hereditary basically means it's being passed on from generation to generation to generation, which is pretty much the lifestyle is what they all living from grandpa to father to son, and so yeah, it definitely poverty wise, it's definitely hereditary. The mentality, I'm gonna say not necessarily. Poverty wise, yeah, the lifestyle, the environment, yeah, the mentality, I don't think it can necessarily be hereditary because some of us, especially like like me, you, all of us from Bertie, our people might have grew up in Bertie and they lived the lifestyle that they lived, but we didn't stay locked in living that lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like we've got homeboys that we literally grew up around and we knew their parents or at least their father, their mom, whoever, and we saw how their parents were and how they end up being like their parents. And now they grown into being that same person that's still stuck over there. But none of us didn't come out to be like our parents. So I don't want to say that lifestyle of poverty is mentally is it's not a mentality is but it's definitely the poverty is definitely hereditary, but the mentality, you can fix that, you could change that part because I didn't do
Right.
it, Jay, you didn't do it, like y'all didn't do it, so it's like I would definitely say that part is not the mentality is not hereditary, but the poverty, yeah, that's definitely hard, like Bino said, that was locked in, the rules are already set against us from the jump, so there was no way getting around that because it's their world. But the mentality, no, you can. That ain't something that's hereditary. You can get around that.
I'm, I'm gonna have to disagree
Kanye
with that
said
mentality
slavery.
because I taught school for a long, at least about 5 years, and that stuff is strong. Those kids feel like getting government assistance, living in those hood houses or whatever it is the way to go. Like they feel like that's a come up. Like, and
Yeah.
I do not, I didn't understand it, but again, that's what their parents were telling them. I know one time I went to the social services or whatever to get assistance for when I was pregnant my second child. They told, and I was married at the time. I just wanted just some help. I didn't want to take it over. Those people told me, "Ma'am, if you were pregnant with twins, we wouldn't do that for you." They said, "But if you wasn't married, you could get all the assistance you needed." So what type of mindset are they trying to tell me? Well, what the hell I get married for? You don't need a man in the house, so just keep having these babies. You know what I'm saying? So it is. Like I said, I had to disagree on that part about mentality because they see their parents still getting whatever they want and need. Look at where the school start. You're gonna see all these folks in poverty got every pair of Jordans, every polo
Yep.
shirt, every whatever dressed out to the T. And I'm like, okay, but then you complain about X, Y, Z later on.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think it speaks to nature versus nurture. right? So when you're talking about genetics and environment, and this goes to a question that was in the comments uh, placed by Yayo. So now answer his question and the hereditary part. Hey, Charlotte, from a scientific point of view, do you think people genetics play a part in whether college is for a person? I think we're learning. We're still on the brink of learning behavioral modifications and how they spin back into hereditary when it comes to the human genome. There are a lot of things we still are trying to figure out. I do think that the nature plays more of a role, or I'm sorry, the nurture plays more of a role in this poverty environment. Meaning, if you grow up around it and that's all you hear spoken of and that's all you know, then that becomes your standard. This is why I said it's super important when we have our children to expose them to as much as possible, because then you top out their ceiling. What they think is possible literally starts from what they see, right? And if all they see is you getting government assistance, you getting food stamps, the refrigerator's full with food, you know what I'm saying? Like everything about what you got going on is based on the government assistance, then it's easy to know that if I can get to this level, then I've at least attained what my parents have. So I think it sets the children up for less than, because you're not exposing your children no more. I don't think there's anything wrong with, if you are a mother and you need that level of assistance, that's cool. But I think where you fail at is not showing your child more. I think that's where the failure is. I don't think it's in getting the support you need. I think the failure comes in is when you don't show and teach your children more. Before we go any further,
Hey,
Negas is
look, Strada.
going off in these comments, man, and I'm gonna let her get her shit
Strada.
off, bro. What's up?
What you think? You think it's a mentality or what? Or you think it's hereditary or what?
I think it's a mentality that's passed down through generations, but I don't know if that would be considered hereditary. Meaning, if you got a mother and she has a bunch of children, and let's say a daughter in a preteen age has a child, based on the advice that she gives her on her experiences, you can pass down bad knowledge, right? And so, in a sense, it's hereditary. I just don't think it's genetically. I don't think it's a genetic hereditary. I don't think it's genetically hereditary. I think it's environmental hereditary
Oh,
stuff. Like the
I think,
mentality gets transferred. You see what I'm saying? So it's
and
not
that's
so
what's
much
so
on the science, but the
dangerous.
social part, and that's what makes it dangerous.
But that's what's so dangerous, Strata. Don't eventually it turns into genetics though. If it doesn't happen for, if your family been this way for 100 years, don't eventually it turns into a, it gotta eventually transition over to genetics, bro.
That part.
Because
That
you
part.
taking every stem, every brain, and especially we talk about both sides of your family now. People have different outlooks, do different uncles, aunts, do different things, but we talk about straight mama and dad side, straight this how it is, project bound, straight up. We run the whole projects. Like I think eventually that bloodstream and your DNA that it becomes science. I mean, maybe
Oh
not,
yeah,
but
yeah, absolutely. And again, that's what those first two videos was actually speaking to, the fact that your cognitive abilities based on being born in poverty are affected by your environment, what you're consuming in your environment, and what you see. So I do think that it can affect you on a genetic level. Negus is going off in these comments, and I'm gonna give her the platform to talk her shit, no
She
matter
gonna hop
how
on?
ignorant. Probably not. But we still honor opinions, and I don't want anyone to ever think that this platform does any level of censoring. So we're gonna get through it and honor it. Black men don't hire their own, just like they don't date their own. Black women and black LGBTQ, even in African LGBTQ diaspora. You think Kanye West business is predominantly black workers? Well, the lead is coming up. Let's address the first part. Black men actually marry black women at a rate of 85%. I don't know what goes on in your country, but here in the United States of America, our black men love our black women, despite what you might see in the media. And I think that speaks to a
fact.
larger point. A lot of what you think you know about black America comes from
Is the
what you
media.
consume from the TV and from YouTube. So, good point. But like I said, we're here to educate. Then she goes on to say, black men is the most illoyal creatures. That is why they were sold into slavery and still continue to be slaves in Arab nations. Well, respectfully, wouldn't that make your ancestors culpable? If we were sold, wouldn't that make your ancestor culpable for the selling? So, if anything, it doesn't speak to us as black men because we are a product of that slavery. That means that your ancestors in your country were the ones that did the selling. So, if you are still in an African born nation, if you want to take that route in your argument, then that means that that will make your people culpable, not us. We are a product of what your people did.
Right. I just seen the president the other day. One of the presidents in Africa apologizing for the kings and chiefs. You know what I'm saying? Role in
Yeah,
slavery and
yeah,
selling
yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
South
So
Africa.
And
Mm-hmm.
so, you got to think a lot of agreements were made from European settlers, the Dutch settlers, when they entered your land. So, a lot of the times, just to even educate you probably more on even your country, the idea of slavery wasn't a universal term that was coined in Africa and the way the Dutch used it. In Africa, when there were warring tribes and you had a slave, what that meant was my tribe conquered your tribe, and in turn, because there was a conquering, you are now subject to our culture. You were technically a slave, but you had to then follow our practices. We adopted your family because we killed your men, but we took in your children and we took in your women. And because we did that, that's what they thought slaves were. So when the Dutch came over talking about slaves, the idea of slavery was a term that was lost in translation.
That's the
Whiteness,
same thing as here.
absolutely. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like and again, these terms get thrown around loosely, but again, that's why I love her in the comments because these
Yeah,
are teachable
but
moments.
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but the American slave trade was way more inhumane, even to when we talking, even to what Stratus talking about with those
Facts.
wars and taking over tribes. They didn't do half the stuff that Europeans did to
Right.
the American slaves.
Well, the
White.
sub-Saharan slave trade won't. It was pretty much as the same as a triangle slave trade. It was the same
Facts.
thing.
The same
The
thing. And you
same
all did
thing.
it,
It wasn't
and
no different.
African
Mecca,
countries did it to each
yeah,
other. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Go
Mecca
back and
was the
watch the women
largest
King.
slave port
Yeah,
in
Yeah,
the Western world. I mean, in the
go
Eastern world.
go
they still
figure.
go through that stuff over there.
Whiteness is what they desire. They want to eat, shit, pee, dress, live like white kings. And again, your
Who,
country is a reflection of
who,
What
the
country is
things
she
you
from?
speak into.
I
When
don't
she's
even
Hold
know
on,
what
talking
wait,
country
about,
she
wait.
from.
I'm
she's saying,
confused.
okay, she's saying that black men, whiteness is what we desire, and that we want to eat, shit, pee, dress, live like white kings.
I'm
there's not a
still
black
confused.
man on this panel that's purposely trying to look dressed like a white stereotype that you are trying to claim. If anything,
CJ,
there are more white guys nowadays that try to portray themselves as the black stereotype than the black men try to portray themselves as the white stereotype. Come
This
on
hold
is
now,
on.
don't do
That
wild.
that.
picture, that picture that
Don't
you
do
just
that.
showed, Jay.
Uh-huh. I'll
Don't
bring
she
her
got
back up.
blonde hair in that picture?
She actually does. She has
Then
blonde
what the
hair.
hell is she talking about?
Yeah,
Black
the
people don't grow
They
contradiction.
blonde
want to
hair.
be desired like white men.
Yeah, the contradictions are wild on this one, but I'm trying to get through because it's
You,
a lot. Oh yeah, CJ, she said you was pretty. She asked
I ain't the first time I heard that.
who did your eyebrows.
No,
Um,
Oh, she
what the
trying to
fuck?
cap
Why?
now. She capping now.
yeah,
Now you just trolling.
Yeah,
I
I
can
could tell
tell
when the
when a
brother do
brother
his
do
eyebrows
his eyebrows
because I
because
can
I
do
do
mine
my
every
own
day.
every day before.
yeah. She
Before you
capping,
shave
bro.
Bruh.
what? Oh, okay.
so that's a dude.
Thank you, Jay, for calling me a woman. Oh, okay.
I
Well,
told you.
I'm
She's
glad. I'm
trolling.
That's a
glad. I'm
dude.
glad. I'm glad I got
I
that
mean,
right. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm glad I got that right. I don't want to call
Bruh.
someone outside of what they identify as.
Did she
Um,
identify herself? Or we just
No.
called it that based
no.
off the photo.
Let's see. I'm combing through it. Y'all bear with me.
Irritating
I
my
appreciate
soul.
y'all.
hey,
I
bro.
Irritating my
appreciate y'all
soul.
patience with me, man. Yeah, it's a lot
Tell
going
her to
on,
hop
bro.
on.
Nah, that's yeah. I don't think
Pick
I've
your
dropped the link
ovaries up
twice.
and hop on.
We're gonna just keep it pushing, man. That was a lot.
Yeah.
Make sure y'all go back to the live stream.
Gotta call
Support
pretty.
sis.
Puppies are pretty. Certain babies are pretty. I don't like that, bro.
Oh boy, yeah, she is a
I don't care what gender you are. I'm
She
not like being
trolling, J
called
J.
pretty.
She
That's an
trolling. She
insult to me,
trolling.
I
man.
know.
She trolling.
Yeah, yeah, she is. She is
Yeah, my eye.
funny, but
You mad because I got him? Like, what are you talking
And she got
about?
and
That
she got to get hers
subject.
shaped up.
that,
God
but
damn. Before I get ill up here.
you good. Like I said, man, we do appreciate it. Y'all make sure y'all follow her lead, Negus Afro Dane Doll. Make sure y'all comment, like, subscribe. We gonna keep the show going. uh, like I said, man, it's great entertainment, man. Like I said, you ain't doing nothing until you start ruffling feathers. So that's how I know what we doing is effective,
That's true.
right?
That's
Hmm.
true.
So we're on the right track. But next, we want to talk about. We're gonna get into the short of this Beyonce concert and these tickets, and then we're gonna get y'all reactions. I got two things I'm gonna show, and I'm gonna ask you a question.
I told you I was not going to judge you if you had to do what you had to do to get those tickets for Beyonce. But some of y'all have started GoFundMe accounts. We have a real estate agent saying if you want to sell your house so you can get Beyonce tickets. What else are you guys doing just so that you can go to see Beyonce for the Renaissance World Tour? I'm not playing, y'all. This really? I mean, this is pretty smart on his part. Are you selling your house so you can go see Beyonce? And not me casually saying, oh, let me go see if I can get me some tickets. This is yesterday. And then I'm realizing, oh, I probably should have registered beforehand. And, yeah, I haven't gotten any tickets. What are you guys doing in order to get these tickets?
Okay, so that's the first thing I want to play. And next, I want to show a screenshot of something else we saw that we're going to get y'all reaction. So the screenshot says, dude at the barbershop today said he spent 40,000 on Beyonce tickets for him and his girl, even showed me the tickets on his phone with the receipt. He works minimum wage, lives with his mom, and doesn't have a car. Only reason he had the 40,000 is because his grandpa just died and let him some inheritance. He's 24 and she's 21. They've been together for less than a year. Pray for this brother.
Better. So he can
Boy,
get
you a
that goddamn.
2023 simp. That's what y'all are. Ain't no way.
I
First off,
mean,
Beyonce ain't
I
even
don't
all
even
that.
think that's
Like
no
that's
sense.
crazy to me.
Yeah,
She,
I don't
that's
even think that's
the
a sense,
hype,
bro.
the
That's
hype is just
just
too fucking
yeah.
excessive for Beyonce. That is wild,
I'm saying,
bro.
how the tickets
Are
forty
we too
thousand?
poor for Beyonce? No, no, we not too poor
Hell
for
yeah, we
Beyonce. They
didn't
just
me.
hyped her up to the point that the yesterday's price ain't today's price. That's what they did to her.
Forty
She
thousand
ain't
for
worth
two
that.
tickets, bro.
Nah,
Forty
bro. For
thousand for
bro, I
two
looked it
tickets.
up. I looked it up, bro. Front row seats, 80,000. The 40,000 that
hmm
he's spending ain't even front row. If you wanted the front row, I mean, right there, damn near her spitting on you while she's singing. One ticket was 79.99. Bro, I wish I could go back and look
God
it up. That's how
dang.
much the tickets was, and that was in Charlotte. That's for Charlotte's
That's
price.
crazy.
Eighty
I
Tell
got my
thousand
own
dollars,
question. At
one
any point,
ticket.
eighty
people ain't gonna
thousand
work.
dollars.
One ticket, bro. That I thought he was joking when they said he brought two tickets for 40,000. So I looked it up.
Hey
Front
yo,
row,
bro, no, yo,
front
cat,
row.
bro.
Hey,
It's water. It's literally, I don't know what it is, y'all, but it's literally water coming to my eyes right now. Hearing like, I don't
like,
know.
bro, Beyonce ain't like
That
that,
just
bro.
hurt. Oh my. Hey, but listen though, but nah, CJ, you say that though, but man, listen, Beyonce. I don't know who y'all could compare it to. Maybe y'all could. What's that woman that used to turn people into stone?
Medusa.
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 Medusa. She was the new age Medusa, bro. In real life, whatever spiritual energy she has obtained, bro. This shit deeper than rap, bro.
Yeah,
It's
Facts.
deeper
what
than
is it?
rap, bro.
Sasha Fierce. Sasha
Bro, it's deeper
Fierce.
than rap, bro.
That's
Yeah,
the
This stuff.
alter ego.
Like,
yeah. But it's
Medusa
crazy.
woman.
It's crazy because she's singing songs and she's not even living what she's singing.
Nope.
People out here I'm talking about are flabbergasted of this woman. She said, I'm independent. I don't need a man for this and that. But she stayed when Jay-Z cheated on her ass, though.
That Lemonade
So
album.
that's crazy.
I don't even think he cheated. I
y'all
think
see
they
these
just I think
comments,
that
bro?
shit
Like this
just
shit
Nah,
deeper
he
than rap,
admitted to it
bro.
in 444.
This shit
Yeah,
deeper than rap.
he
She really
cheated on her.
has people
He directly
spiritual.
cheated on her, slept with another
I
woman and everything.
heard.
Full thing.
Hey, but listen, y'all. She really
You
has a
see that shit?
mass. And I'm gonna be quiet after this. She really has a mass of women. She really has their
A
Yeah,
cult.
energy obtained, bro. Like she got them. She got them, bro.
yeah,
Like I don't
facts,
know
facts.
her,
Did
probably
y'all not
Rihanna.
see the movie on Netflix Swarm? Like they said it
Yeah,
was
Swarm.
based
like
off
Thank
of
you.
true
That's what it was.
like
It was in my
CJ
events.
brain. I
saying,
couldn't
True
get
they
it.
events.
literally
Like
in
them
a
people out here
trance,
killing people
bro.
and doing all that. So yes,
Yeah,
And
Swarm is
living in
What?
the
based off of
trench.
Beyonce.
and Swarm people don't come for my ass. Look, I ain't got no beef with y'all.
Swarm is based off the
Yeah.
Beyonce Beehive.
Yeah, that shit crazy, man.
I think
Yeah,
I'm gonna
not
be
just
honest
women,
with
for
you.
real.
I think that um, what I'm not gonna do. There's just me though. I'm not gonna hold Beyonce all the way accountable for just being an artist. I think that the onus is on us as consumers to know our limits, right? Meaning, if she has the way to, if she's promoted herself to such a brand, um, to where she can charge that, then her price is a price, right?
Yeah,
I think that it's up to us as consumers to make decisions that make the most sense. But like y'all said before, we talked about this earlier. People weren't going to that concert, and I'm not saying they weren't Beyonce fans. I think them showing up them concerts had more to do with the status of saying that I was able to go, if that makes
facts.
sense. It
Yeah,
spoke
Yeah,
more to
yeah.
the wave of wanting to be there than you being able to A, afford it, or B, even gave a fuck enough to even go. I'm not saying you don't like her music, but again, I get it, but I think that the onus, I don't want to push it all on her because it makes us less accountable for spending our fucking bread on it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like she can charge what she wants. She's an artist, right? But we have to be smarter with our bread. Now, granted, I was always told by my OGs. One of my uncles told me one day, "You can't afford nothing if you can't buy it 3 times.
Mm.
You can't afford nothing if you can't buy it 3 times."
About to buy
And
me another
so,
Honda.
Hey Strata, hey Strata. I feel you, right? That's what we do with everything. Like past Beyonce, we paying for stuff we can't naturally really afford, right? But when it
right?
comes to Beyonce, even with this, what you saying, even if it's you can't have no fake Beyonce. Your mama go buy fake designer right now, but
Yeah.
you can't make no fake Beyonce. You feel what I'm saying? You got to pay that buck. Now this is my thing. It's still got to be a trance, even if it ain't a trance that she particularly controls. Even if it's a machine behind us, then she just part of the trance. She still like, bro. If she drop, why do she know she could charge that much to still have a sold out show? How she know that?
That's what killed
Because it's
me.
a
They had
machine
sold
that
out
knows that.
shows.
How much money is that for
You
per
feel what I'm
show?
saying?
Like,
Like,
what
bro,
the?
how many artists gonna
Bro,
charge? How many artists
she
can
got to
have
hit
the
a
guts to
billion.
say? How many artists y'all got the balls to charge somebody 80,000 for a front row? Name them right now.
nobody living.
Yeah,
Lil Uzi.
Nobody,
that's
bro.
a
It's just
Michael
Nobody
me and that
living.
rap,
Jackson,
bro.
Michael
Travis.
Jackson. That's the only one.
That's it.
Nobody
Michael
living,
Jackson,
bro.
maybe Whitney Houston, but nobody living that can do that.
Travis Scott might could get away with it.
The Beatles.
Hell no.
Mate,
Travis Scott front row tickets was like 9,000 at that one event he had. And he got that Utopia thing now. I think they buy like 8, 9,000 for the front rows. I'm telling you, I was looking up when I looked up Beyonce, I was looking up everybody tickets. Like who else got tickets this high? And those
But
people on
okay,
tour right
okay.
now.
Now I'm gonna give y'all some real pushback as to why I believe that is that much money. You got to think with these shows, they are full production, meaning costumes, lights, engineers,
Our concerts is like
dancers.
4 hours.
You feel what I'm saying? Like this is a lot of money. Now, granted, on the business side of me understand it. I don't agree with it, but I understand it. Meaning she has to find a way to recoup her people. Like if right now all of us were to go to do a show right now, right? And let's say for us to book the building, get our lights right, get a cameraman together, it's gonna cost us 10 bands, right? To the expenses for us to get in front of people and speak. Then we're gonna set our door prices based on us recouping the 10 bands and getting some profit on the back end. So I think a lot of the reasons why the money is so high is probably because they need to make it that high to recoup. Now that doesn't justify it being that high because you can honestly find black contractors that probably do it cheaper, right? But again, at her status, you kind of got to pay to play because you know what we don't understand is they compete with each other as artists, right? And this ain't giving Beyonce no slack for what's going on. But like I said, I'm still holding the onus towards the fans because as a businessman, you only charge prices that people are willing to pay. And if they're willing to pay it, now granted, some might say, okay, well, she has a responsibility to the people that are selling their lives out to go see her to make them cheaper. But what would that do? Besides, people still gonna buy the tickets, right? And then all it would do is
Regardless.
motherfuckers gonna get trampled. You know what I'm saying? Like, So I don't even know if this is. I think Beyonce has gotten so big, her stardom so big that with the things we speak about, I don't even know if she can really do anything about it at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like I think it's out of her control for real. Like short of,
Yeah.
you know what I'm
we,
saying?
we
Like
and we can't even compare her to the average business
nope.
module that you talk about, because like for instance Walmart and Target got the same stuff, don't they?
Yep.
But where you gonna catch us at? You ain't gonna catch us in Target,
No, for real, bro.
because Target charging more than Walmart
I
for
was
the
about
same
to say
exact
that.
thing.
I think
You feel what I'm
somebody just
saying? So it's
posted it.
like for Beyonce, it's deeper than rap. I'm telling
She's
you,
a
bro, this
brand,
shit
bro.
deeper than rap,
It's
bro.
deeper than
Like
rap. But
if she
like
if people say they
mhm.
wasn't gonna go to her show right now, she would have to fire. So all right, so boom,
Exactly.
she would have to fire people. She would have
Yep.
to and do the
Yep.
same show,
Mm-hmm.
and the same fans is gonna go.
Nah,
Right.
she ain't
What you
firing
mean?
nobody.
No, I'm
Nah,
saying
she not firing
No,
nobody.
if
no,
people
he's
said
saying he's
if
saying
people
cause and
said
effect. If people stop buying, let's say she did them shows and they weren't sold out, and people weren't buying the tickets, then based on demand, she would have to come down on her prices regardless. Meaning the set, the production would go down because now she has to keep costs low. But what he's saying is, I'm gonna keep doing it this way if y'all keep supporting that way. If you're gonna keep buying it, I'm gonna keep pushing it the hell out. Because you
Okay,
gotta think,
okay.
Beyonce don't even pop out that often for real. Like she'll drop an album and disappear for the next 6 years. Cause this show money is for her grandkids, her great grandkids. This ain't even. This is all layup line. This is making money in the layup line at this point. She don't give a fuck about this shit. So people be like, "Yo, Beyonce, you causing shit." Beyonce's like, "I don't give a fuck. I will not perform ever again
yep,
and
yep,
come back and do $40 million seats. I don't care."
yep,
So I think that it goes back to just knowing as a consumer what you're consuming and the value you're getting out of what you're buying. I get it. It is an experience, right? I'm not going to I love concerts. So I can't take away the experience of going to see someone, but at what cost? Meaning are your bills caught up? What do you how are you going to live after Beyonce says thank y'all, good night? What
In
the
a
rest of
box,
your life look like? You see what I'm
in a
saying?
box.
Cause she get off stage to bags. You know what I mean? Like what happens when you leave that concert? And I think that that's the part that anyone has to take into account. Think about it, bro. If motherfuckers were smart for real, I would get all of my Beehive people. If we couldn't afford no tickets, I would throw a fucking house party. We stream that shit live, charge $20, $30 to get in. Now I done made money off the fact that other people love Beyonce. Y'all can dress up in this bitch. We gonna have spitting lights. You know what I'm saying? Like you can make it a whole experience, but again, you gotta find better ways to capitalize off of what we doing, bro. You know what I mean?
man.
Cause
The image of
$80
Beyonce is a
for
trance, bro. You
tickets.
know how many people love
yeah,
Beyonce and knew and didn't even look at them tickets twice? You
nah,
know what
for
I'm
real,
saying?
bro.
You think about the young boy that just gave up his grandma or his mom's whatever stuff to
Inheritance.
go. You feel what I'm saying? Like it's certain minds work different, bro. There's plenty of people that love the S out of Beyonce and sat right home. They ain't looked at. Oh nah, them people that did that,
Yeah,
man.
you said, bro.
That's
I
yo.
don't
That's a
even
crazy.
get
She
it.
the
Like,
greatest. She the greatest that ever did this, man. For real, man.
For real,
nah.
for real.
Think
CJ, she the
DMX still
greatest that
got
ever
her.
did this, man.
DMX still got her.
Who?
Yeah. DMX
I ain't
still
even
got
talking
her.
about fan wise, bro. Bruh, ain't
Yeah,
nobody ever gonna be able to do 80,000 tickets for the next 50 years, bro.
yeah. We
That's
talk. We
insanity,
we
bro.
I
we're not
don't
talking
know
about
about that.
arenas.
I don't know about that one.
And look, and her shows are
They are
when you watch
football
the clips of her
stadiums.
shows, they
Yeah.
are crazy. It is an experience. It's
It ain't.
like,
She ain't inside no damn gym or no
bro,
auditorium.
it look like
She
you in a
inside
whole
a
nother world,
football
bro.
arena.
Yeah, you in a whole nother world
It's
when you
different.
do her
That's
show.
different, man.
I get it. Like the clips I seen, it's like you like this, like you in outer space in her shows, boy.
That's
She
why. That's
not.
why
God.
when you say she got him in a trance, I agree because I don't see it. I don't see why.
Me neither. I don't either. I don't either. That's how I know
But
she got him in the trance.
and like you said, it's something about seeing people live. Like I will say, I've been I actually watched one of my wildest concerts I went to. There was just some random shit. Like when Little Brother was still up and coming, I was actually in Durham at the poorhouse. I was in school and shit, and it was like Little Brother coming. I was like, okay, shit, they was in the hood. But watching them live, I knew the songs, but watching them perform it and seeing them put the energy to it, it does, bro. Any concert to give you the vibe, but I think most people are paying for the experience to be around other people, like-minded people, to enjoy it together. I get that part, but guess what? I didn't go broke to do that either.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying?
that part.
Like, and I think that that's the biggest part. We're not telling people not to enjoy it. Again, we all know we work hard. I get it. We at poverty lines. That's cool. But I think the bigger point in all of it is You shouldn't let entertainment be the first thing on your mind if your pockets ain't like that. And I think that's the part that we forget is I think that the we don't, as black people with a poverty mindset, we don't have delayed gratification. So meaning we don't know how to invest in something and see the return later. So a lot of times people work so hard in life that they really think I deserve this. I done worked hard, all I ain't took no days off. I hate my boss. Fuck that, pull overtime, blah blah. I deserve this, but they're paying themselves now and shit that will cost them later.
It ain't worth it.
Yeah, shout out to niggas, but with your comments, I can't read any of those, bro. I'm not even
And
gonna
look,
put those on the screen and dignify those with a response. Respectfully, I'm like, I'm not gonna do it. As long as you
I was
keep it
about to say,
respectful,
well,
we cool. But
that's a dude.
we
That's a
not
dude.
doing
I
that.
don't
We
care.
not doing that, man.
That's a
CJ.
nigga.
We not
Bro,
doing
I
that,
don't
bro.
care. That's a nigga. That is not a
Respectfully, bro.
woman.
Like we not doing
From
that,
probably
bro.
from
Like
Africa, maybe because some of the things he's saying. All right,
I
whatever.
mean,
You the nigga.
I was letting it go. You know what I'm saying?
I've been hit on by women and niggas my whole life. You's a nigga. For you to come in my eyebrows, that's some gay nigga shit. No, whoever that is, cut him.
Yeah. Shout out to D.
look,
Said I'm not
last
part
day
of the
I
Beehive
was
myself. Go ahead,
gonna
Brittany.
look. All I could think about was when it went through that movie we just talked about Clone Tyrone and about how the music came on and the trends because baby she got something playing in the background with them beats or whatever because ain't no way I'm not paying
That-
40, 50.
Frequencies are
I'm not gonna pay
real.
500 to go see it. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm
So
saying, Britt. She
Mm-mm.
got something different in her production. She got that
When I went
sauce, boy.
to, I went to a Kanye
Facts.
She got
concert,
the ritual
front
behind her
row.
beats, boy.
right.
I stood 1,000 for that. When I went to a front row for a J Cole concert, Dreamville in Fayetteville, it was 480. That both of those are front rows. Kanye was 1,000 for a front row, and J Cole was 480 for a front row. Those are the only two concerts I've ever been to, and
Not bad.
If,
I
if
felt like I was about to go broke doing that, and I was financially good then. So somebody paying 10, 20, 30, 40, 80,
Different.
bro,
you
that's
made
an
a good
Audi,
point.
that's a Mercedes, that's
If
some big boy
Kanye
cars.
if Kanye wouldn't have crashed out, he was on that type of that
He was
lane
on that
too.
Yeah,
trajectory.
yeah,
He was on that
yeah.
trajectory if he wouldn't have crashed out. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, yeah, he crashed out. He couldn't take it. He won't. His spirit was. You know what I'm saying? His something was eating him up in the inside. He couldn't do it. He crashed out mentally. You know what I'm saying? But he was on
That
that
part.
trajectory. He was on that trajectory.
All right. Well, now we're gonna get into some disturbing facts based on the trajectory of black people and our spending habits. So I got two videos I'm gonna play, and I'm gonna ask you all a question afterwards. Let's get to it.
It's like there ain't no audio.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go to the next video because the next video actually gives context to the first video. The first video was the congressman that I think ran for the presidential election during the Trump election, and he was speaking about how in 30 years the median income for the black family would be $0. And so this next video gives it even more context. So we'll just get into the second one.
Black communities are greatly affected by a negative net worth virus. This virus does not discriminate and even affects people with advanced degrees, a six-figure salary, and an enviable position at a large corporation. The Institute for Policy Studies and Prosperity now published a report titled The Road to Zero Wealth. The report stated that Black Americans' median wealth could drop to zero by 2053, that is, if the current trends do not change. Through the ages, people have been led to believe that education is the great equalizer. The problem with this concept is that more education does not always mean more wealth in the households of Black communities. According to the most recent Federal Reserve Board survey of consumer finances, a white person without a bachelor's degree has a higher median net worth than that of a Black person holding a bachelor's degree. Additionally, most African Americans are being held back by crippling student debt loans and other obstacles that stops them from building wealth. The NCES National Center for Education Statistics realized that about 57.7% of white students get federal student loans for their higher education while the percentage is higher for Black students at 77.7%. More studies have continually proven that black students have a higher likelihood of drowning in debt just so they can be considered college graduates. The decision to go to college, or not to, is your first business decision. This is according to the author of The Lies Our Parents Were Sold and Told Us, Jeff Wilson too. People do not go to college for the purpose of building wealth. They go there for a network in order to create high-income producing opportunities. Education is the reason most black people can access a luxurious life and have an improved socioeconomic status, there is no question about this. Numerous studies have proven that education can increase your earning potential. However, the income that may come with a higher education is diminished if you get a huge student loan and you have no plan on how to pay.
What,
That
man?
was a
You took
lot.
it. Man,
That
my
was a
face
lot.
was all over the place about this.
Yeah, bro.
Wow.
Will we be broke in 30 years at our rate? And again, the first video gave context, I think, about a year of 2054. Shout out to TK. He put me on that statistic. Shout out to my coworker TK, man. By the year 2054, it is projected that the black median family house income, the black median income household would be a net of $0. That by 2054, the amount of money we bringing into the home versus our amount of bills we have would leave us with a net of no money.
If we continue this trend.
Yes.
Mm.
I'm neither here nor there for the actual time frame, but I could see it. And I just want to dive into your report. How can we? I just want to dive right into the solution. Like the solution to that is, yo, like if you really care about your kids and you really care about the generations that's under us and that's here to come, we would stop idolizing these celebrities, these rappers, these actors, because what they're doing with the money is not nothing we need, even though we the ones giving them the money. Like I feel like we should start idolizing people who come back to the community and try to teach wealth. You know what I'm saying? Because education is the key factor. Like they give all those numbers and they talk about all those things, but they don't talk about how I got to this point. We was rocked to sleep since day one when it comes to this whole American education stuff. Like we do need it as a foundation to know how to, read a word and add and subtract. And so I do agree with K through 12. You know what I'm saying? But after that, like somewhere in high school, we need to start. The black community need to have leaders that's educated enough, not on the American public school education, but to teach wealth. Man, we need those financial advisors. We need those people, those engineers. We need those. Then we need a different type of education. You know what I'm saying? Like besides the public school education system, then go to college and then it's just teach you how to work for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we got wealthy black Americans here, man, but they're not like they're looked over, bro. Like they're looked over for Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? Like you will give 80,000 to Beyonce, but you gonna give 1,000 to that man that can teach you how to make 80,000 in a year.
Mm,
You know what I'm
boy.
saying? So it's like we need to start finding a way to put these people on the forefront and on the platforms where they got a bigger influence besides celebrities, bro. Like for real. And I think longer as this celebrity shit, that's gonna be a hard trance to break, though. You know what I'm saying?
Can I be honest? I'm gonna answer the question directly. I ain't even gonna give a solution. Yes, we'll be fucking broke in 30 years. Based on our spending power and how much money we have lost just in that first statistic we put up, it is speaking to a harsh reality. And we're going to get to the solutions, but no, this has to be drilled home to people. In 30 fucking years, your household income will net $0 which means this won't be paycheck to paycheck. This will be you are living and surviving to pay bills. That's it.
Right.
So what you get? So what we gonna be again in 30 years? Writing back some fucking slaves.
Straight up. But
And
this
then and
time,
then
but
they
this
got the
time we the
breaks.
ones that did it. Straight up. I think that like I do want to draw this point home. Like again, I feel you, Bino, because like you said, hearing that shit alarmed me so bad. I was like, yo, man, like shit. What do we do about it? But no, we got to let that point sit. It's got to stick on people because I don't think that we are even thinking about that. Because think about it, most of us are what 20s, 30s, so in our mind, we're like, all right, by 50 or 60, I might have it figured out, right? But that means your kids are walking into that shit. They are raised up in that. You know what I'm saying? Like this ain't just about you. This is the family as a net whole. No money.
And then yeah, but my main exactly my cause my main point is we down to 30 years. We done had I ain't gonna say 400, but you probably had about 100 years to try to, you know what I'm saying? Like this been a 400 to 100 year plan for them. Think about the numbers you gotta go against. Something they set in stone 400 years ago. They give you little bits and pieces here, rock you to sleep. You know what I'm saying? What they call it, smoking mirrors. See, that's why
Hmm.
we chase college. That's why we chase the image of the white picket fence on TV and all that shit. Like they've been drilling in us for hundreds of years. Man. You feel what I'm saying? Like
That's a fact.
so
That's a
we
fact.
talk about the moment, but we don't like them all them stats don't talk about, bro. You've been rocking us to sleep since fucking 1852.
Two
Facts.
things can be true, but like you said, man, we got to deal with what it means for us. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, you know what I
Exactly.
mean? Like, this is a
Absolutely.
hard truth. So, anybody else on the panel, we'll kind of do a popcorn style. Will we be broke in 30 years at our rate? Anybody? It doesn't matter the order.
Man, uh, will we be
I
broke
mean,
in
I
30
think
years?
with information like this and saying more awareness, then we can curve it. But spending what was the rate? Spending 1.6 trillion and still having
14%
14%,
decline in income.
right? That's what I'm saying. Yeah, well that's you can't win like that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
You
gonna say
spending
no.
all your bread and you damn making less bread. So yeah. So if we don't change from this awareness of different people putting it out like this and putting it, what I'm saying, making it be known, yeah, yeah.
That's a fact. Anybody else?
I'm gonna say no.
John, go ahead, CJ. You go ahead.
I'm gonna say no. We not. Because if you look at some of the younger generation, yeah, we still got the knuckleheads out there, but some of these younger generations, in like what is the influencers from streaming, social media, rappers, singers, the younger ones, early 20s. Some of them are actually, even though they're making a lot of money, some of them are actually starting to do things more financially stable and not even thinking as rich or as crazy. Like you have, if you know NLE Chopper, he's only 20 now. About 16, 17 when he started rapping, he was doing the same knucklehead shit every other dude was doing. But as he got older, he changed. He stopped smoking, drinking. Like he doesn't do none of it now. He's starting doing sea moss, eats healthy. He has a strict raw food diet. He's converted at least two other knucklehead rappers who ain't even that popular, but they were doing the same crazy dumb raps. But he's converted them to doing the same exact health changes. So there are some dudes that are doing it. Now, obviously, you're not gonna get all the young folks to try to switch over to all that, but there is some. And in 30 years, there's gonna be more people. That's what I
Yeah,
think,
he
and that's just one part. Um, I've seen certain YouTubers doing the same thing where they're trying to explain to people about financial stuff, how to like not spend crazy, not how to like, hey, you don't have to spend all this, you ain't gotta do all this, just do this, just do that. Hell, you got people still promoting shit like Fashion Nova. I didn't know Fashion Nova actually wasn't that expensive. I did not know that because I don't shop like that. But Fashion Nova is not that expensive. Timu, weird website, but it's not that. It's people that promote cheaper ways of buying stuff. There's some of those big time YouTubers that was promoting all these like buying expensive stuff. They now promote about making your own stuff, building your own income, and all that. There's a lot of them that are slowly migrating into that, and most of them are not even 30. So the fact that some of these guys are changing their mindsets over time, they're not like little influencers. There, some of these guys are million views, million subscriber influencers that are converting themselves slowly but surely. So in 30 years, what most of them guys gonna be what 40s and 50s? If they still doing it, they still running this same mindset and they still maintain that same influence on people, people gonna change. Hell, my daughter follows a YouTuber that talks about how to build income as a kid. I didn't even know that was a YouTuber that was doing that. And that dude's like 16 years old, but he's telling younger kids how to build income as kids. And that's a YouTuber that she follows. But if you looked at that same YouTuber at 13, he was doing pranks everywhere. And this
Hmm.
guy's 16 now. So I'm just saying that there are people that are slowly converting into like stop doing dumb shit. Now, some of the ones that are all over social media, yeah, they're the ones that you're gonna catch because that's what everybody's paying attention to. But slowly but surely, everybody's gonna shift. That's what I think, just from what I see. I don't think we're gonna be broke in 30 years. Nah, I think a lot of them are gonna start influencing the younger generations. They're gonna start shifting and changing over.
That's real. That's real. Um,
If them bricks come, we will.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact, man. I do think that like I said, I think that this is something that we have to be aware of, something that we have to uh kind of get a handle on. And I'm sorry, y'all, I'm doing a lot of administrative stuff. Respectfully, y'all, in the comments, just to let everybody watching know. Again, I let it go. You know what I'm saying? We're going to keep it respectful to the panelists. We're going to keep it respectful to the people in the community. We're here for solutions. And again, I welcome people to definitely come back. But, at the
That
same
random
time,
person.
we going to be respectful, man. Like, I'm just going to keep it there and I'm not going to take it any further. So we'll just go from there, man. Sorry, that was throwing me. The whole time y'all was speaking, I was listening, but I'm watching these comments roll like, yo, you are wilding the fuck out.
I
But
wish I would know. I wish I could see them shits.
no, you don't. No,
Right,
you don't.
right.
No, you don't.
For real. I
No
Yeah,
problem, Rita.
because
You know how we
back
do.
channel, back channel is
right,
doing it.
right.
Yeah. Like I said, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm kind of monitoring and stuff, so we good to go.
I don't. It
Back.
probably.
Go ahead, bro.
No, man, go ahead. I'm sorry,
No,
because
you
we
good. You
spending too
good,
much
bro.
attention on niggas. I don't even believe now. I don't even believe niggas is black. It's probably a old white ass motherfucker too. You probably a white homosexual or something, bro. You ain't even
But,
Definitely
niggas, bro.
homosexual.
Cause the shit
but,
that
Yes.
you saying, bro, don't even make sense. You cannot be nobody that's represent Africa or
or if we
African
being
Americans
honest,
or
it might.
African culture. You can't be niggas. You's a
But,
troll. You's a white
but
person,
fellas,
bro.
but fellas, we
Shut up.
probably we probably know this person, believe it or not. That's the
That's what
wild
I
part.
think. I swear I was saying. I said, bro, I
Hey,
swear I bet you this is
but
somebody we fucking know, bro.
but
Somebody
B
local.
but B, this is another thing y'all got to consider, man. It's like, again,
All a part of
you're
YouTube.
doing righteousness when you start striking nerves with people. You know what I mean? This is why I'm gonna keep reading the comments. Now, granted, I got a little out of hand right there at the end, but I welcome the Discord, man. Like I said, bro, we here for the smoke. We are men. We gonna stay in our frame. We gonna address it. We gonna keep it pushing. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
See
I
me.
wanna, you know what I mean? Like, because we gotta actually show them through um, action
I
versus,
am.
you know what I'm
I'm
saying?
I'm all action. They got to see me like, hey, bro. Once they said something about eyebrows, I said, bro, that don't even sound like a woman thing, bro.
Yeah,
That sounds
that
like some
won't
gay nigga
even.
shit.
Yeah, they kind of went there, but it's all good, man. We're gonna keep the show pushing. Like I said,
I
make sure
doubted
y'all
somebody
like,
we know. I doubted somebody we know talking all
like
that intellectual shit, then coming
Talking
this way
you
regular.
though.
you be surprised. And B, like I said, I can see that happening more frequently as we grow. You know what I
I know,
mean?
man.
Like
I
you,
gotta
you
get
can
used to this
expect it. We
internet
gotta get
shit,
used to
man.
this. You know what I mean? Like I know this is new for us, but this
Gotta get
space
used to
we
this
in.
internet
But
shit, man.
I welcome it all,
Exactly.
man. Good and bad alike. So let's get into money and happiness next, and then I'll ask a question based on this next video.
Gold banking rates came out with a study saying that in order to live in California, an individual needs to make about $146,000 just to be happy, right? Now, they also said that globally, one needs to make about $60,000 to $70,000 to be happy. And in the United States in general, one needs to make about $105,000 to be happy. Now let's go back to California, where white people on average are making about 93,000, Asians are making about 116,000, and black people on average are making about $63,000. This is per year, right? So per that study, ain't nobody happy living in California because we know everything is high there. The cost of living is just super high, right? But let's go back to black people that are making about $63,000 on average. So by that study, yes, we can ascertain that black people are super unhappy in California because they do not make even close to the amount of money that they need to make to be happy. Now, I will say that I used to live in California and I'm still a California girl, but I live in Texas now and I am a little bit more happier living in Texas than I was in California because the cost of living is a lot cheaper, if you will, or less expensive, I should say, in Texas than in California. But
All right. So the question I want to pose to you all, based on the video, is money tied to happiness? Let's start with T. Do you believe money is tied to happiness?
It depends on how you value money. I can be happy and I don't have a damn thing. I got a wife, I got a child. To see them smile, to see them have everything they need. I don't need money to see them smile. But if
That's
I'm
real.
chasing the so-called American dream, then yes, I need money to be happy. I need money to buy the latest fashion. I need money to buy the newest car. That depends on your perspective of what happiness is. My happiness doesn't come from a piece of paper with a white man's face on it. It doesn't come from that.
That's real. Let's go with Wardy. Is money tied to happiness?
I mean, yeah, it is tied. It's tied to happening because I feel like the money ain't really what you want. It's the stuff that the money can get you that you really want. So the money is tied to, you know what I'm saying, the things that make you happy, going here, doing this, being able to see your kids, like you say, smile. You know what I'm saying? Take, just a little thing. So the money, if we didn't have to have the money to get it, we would be happy because we could get the things we wanted without money. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that we need money though, like yeah, like it is tied to happiness.
It's real. Brittany, you still there with us?
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm
she
still.
is. Yeah.
Look, remind me, because the kids will warn me about fixing that play. What we on right now?
So I
Can
got a quick. Yeah, go ahead, Woody. Is money tied
no,
to
I was gonna
happiness,
say,
Britt?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
For sure. I mean, when I got money, I got a smile on my face. Look, kids, come on, we can eat whatever. Y'all want giraffe neck? Come on, we going to the store to get it. And when we ain't, baby, look, y'all better leave me alone. So yes, money is definitely tied to it.
Right.
Pino, is money tied to happiness?
Hell yeah. Money tied to happiness. For like what Wardy like what Wardy
You said it
said.
so aggressively.
Like what Wardy said. But to go back to what bro saying, like see for me, I know that the perspective of happiness too, because like I understand what happy is, but I don't understand what joy. Money don't bring me joy. Um, but money bring me it's tied to happiness for sure. For what Brady said,
Mm-hmm.
what he said, hell yeah, I need that bread to be happy for
Yeah.
some shit,
Damn right.
for
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
I don't need it for joy. I don't need it for joy, but I need it to be happy. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
In
Right.
America, I
CJ.
live in America. I'm a black American. I ain't choose to be here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. CJ, is money tied to happiness?
Man, I'ma say money. Money, I don't want to say money is tied to happiness, but money is an investment or a gateway to happiness, I guess. Because to me, before I had my daughter, I was, the military lifestyle was all me, and and I would try to have like little side hustles here and there. By that time, like right before my daughter came, I was just getting into crypto, so I was trying to do some of everything at that time frame just to make money.
Right.
That's all I cared about. But once I got my daughter and I was deployed, I was to me, even though I knew at this point I need to be worrying about having money, I wasn't even thinking about having money at that time. For real, for real. I really won't. It was just more so like I got my, my stable military money and we doing what we doing with our lifestyle, but I wasn't really pushing money. Like it the idea of grinding and going crazy for money went out the window.
See,
I
that's
didn't care
joy.
about
That's joy. That's what
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about. See, that's having joy. That's what
it.
I mean in my
You might be
perspective.
right. You
You know
might
what I'm
be right,
saying?
but you might be right. I didn't have that mindset. Like it didn't even kick in. It didn't kick back into me to want to have. Oh, I need money. I gotta have money until probably like 2 years ago. Like 2 years ago is when it probably kind of came back in. It's probably when I like had my kid in the house. So
Yeah.
it's probably when it finally came back into me. But for a hot minute, bro, I never viewed it as a form of happiness.
I definitely agree with Woody. I think that the reason why it is tied to happiness is because of what it affords. And I think that what money affords for all of us is the freedom to then free up our time. I think
Mm-hmm.
time is the most valuable currency, and money is a way to leverage your time back. So in a lot of instances, we do the things we do because we're literally trying to purchase our time back for ourselves, right? You're trying to purchase your time back so that, all your assets, all your properties are paid off. You're trying to buy your time back by working your 40 hours a week so that you can become debt free. So then the money you make truly is something that can be attained and something that you can actually build on for what you want to really do with your time. Because most people don't even like their jobs. They don't even care for their careers. It's a way to leverage the money to then do what you please, right? It's a way for you to invest in your legacy. I think money is the motor behind the freedom that we get us to happiness. Did I explain that correctly?
Mm-hmm.
I get it. I get it. I get it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And so with that, we're gonna get to our comments real quick. We're gonna get to our respectful comments. uh,
No. You said we wasn't discriminating,
oh
so
no, I blocked that. It was out of
oh
control.
oh
Like it got out of
oh
control.
she got
Respectfully, like
reckless
it got
or it got
really out
reckless.
of control, bro.
Hope you say
Uh,
some of them
What'd he
comments.
say?
y'all had to go back and watch the live and just go to live comments to see all of them rolling because it was one
If
of
you
those.
block them, it's gonna take them all off.
Okay. Well, I might
Yeah.
unblock them before. Well, no, I think they're banned. I think they're banned. I think they're banned now. So just know y'all
You
didn't
remember
miss
what they were
anything.
saying. You remember what
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
I'm
were
about to
they
say
saying.
just talk
yeah,
to us directly. That's all. Just talk to us directly.
they was wilding. So let's get to some of these comments. We got shout out to TK. He said, "Yep, y'all definitely know that person." I believe that to be true too, man. That
Mm-hmm.
was kind of crazy. Shout out to Rita, right, Jay? SPS podcast, you know. Well, make sure y'all like,
Yeah.
comment, subscribe, man. That's what we here for. Shout out to Shakidra. She said yes and no because we need money to get the things we need. Being financially stable keeps you sane. Yes, you can be broke and still be happy, but I'm sure that's after the money was spent to get it, which makes
That's
sense.
fact.
You
I
see the
think
one
that's
I
why.
sent you?
I think that's like the mindset I'm on. Like I know I got it. I'm not really flinching or bothered by it. I don't. I can't remember last time I felt like I was like broke or really need the money. So I don't know. Maybe that's probably why. Maybe like Bino said. Maybe that's just my version of joy right there. I'm just chilling. I'm good.
Yeah. Then Shakidra also followed up with, then also, what about money makes you happy? Is it the amount of money or what money can do for you? And I think we kind of
Well,
answered
money,
that as she
To
was
answer
just a
Yeah.
that, yeah, of
it's
tool.
what
course,
it
what
can
money
do
can
for
do
Money
for
is
you.
only
you.
just
It's what it
It's
can
tools.
the
do, bro.
Yeah, it's the
it's
tool to
not
make.
it's not the
Yeah,
money itself. It's the
yeah,
investment that you put with the money.
right.
That's a fact. I ain't gonna lie, I had two more videos I was gonna play, but I think we've kind of beat this into we beat a dead horse here. Now we can go a little deeper. We can go a level deeper if y'all like, or we can jump straight to solutions. What y'all thinking, man? Where we at
Let's
with it?
let's go deeper. Let's just dig in one more time.
Dig in a little further. All right. Well, this one actually is the aha, so I do have to play this video. Let's get into it,
I'm
man.
curious how you would say that the wealth gap in the United States, how would you say that's not evidence of systemic racism?
Okay, so how much has Jim Crow affected a wealth gap that Black Americans have continued and seemingly will continue to experience through all sort of economic graphing, despite how much policy we are putting forth to quote unquote help Black people? A really interesting book to read is Discrimination and Disparities by Tom Sowell, where he talks about the wealth income gap between Black and white Americans. And he talks about this period specifically within Jim Crow America, where the white poverty rate stayed just about the same for about 20 years. And during that 20 years, the Black poverty rate dropped by about 40 percentage points. So in the middle of legislated racism by the government, the Black poverty rate was decreasing at levels that we've never seen before. And then suddenly we get the civil rights movement and Lyndon B. Johnson becomes president and institutes all this social welfare systems and incentivizes single mothers. And that poverty rate starts to stop decreasing.
Go down again.
I
Boy,
Yeah,
mean,
that's wild, yo.
boy, let that
we are
marinate
all
for a
forward.
second. Before
An
y'all answer,
hour.
let
Mm.
that marinate, bro. In our most systemic in the height of the systemic racism, Jim Crow, when we literally had separate fountains, we were at a lower poverty rate than we were afterwards when the government actually gave us assistance. I want to make that clear. When we were separated, we
Yeah,
were
That's
at
wild,
the
bro.
least impoverished.
y'all remember? Well,
Yeah.
I know y'all. I'm sure y'all aware. Like cause I know we all do our research and we all do our studies. Where desegregation was one of the worst moves we ever made. It was
Yep.
Facts.
another rock to sleep method they did to us though. They painted this picture of what desegregation would look like. They paint this picture of what education will look like. They paint this picture of what having wealth looks like. it still goes when we digging deeper. It still go back to like my whole point the whole time. It been deeper than rap since day one.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
absolutely.
A
Facts.
an interview with Malcolm X where he said that he doesn't hate Martin Luther King. He says he hated the ideas that he was giving the people. He said his ideas was black people help black people and by any means necessary, meaning whether it's by force or by will. But he said the reason why he was upset about how Martin Luther King was leading people was because he was leading people into a burning house that looked pretty. And he said, at the end of the day, what I was doing was I was telling my people, build this house, and if someone stops you, you stop them. While he was leading people into a burning house that looked pretty. And Martin Luther King had it was a note that Martin Luther King said where he said he actually realized that what he ended up doing was leading them into that same house that Malcolm X had stated.
That was
Basically
actually
saying that,
in a video interview. Yep, and
yeah,
done
Yeah, I
by
seen that.
NBC. Yeah,
yep,
I
Hmm.
like
think
that's
that.
Yeah.
wild. He did that.
But
The
you know what's wild?
desegregation hate.
Again, shout out to brother Martin Luther King, member of Alpha Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. One of the things I found interesting when researching Martin Luther King was that a lot of the propaganda that he spoke, a lot of the rhetoric, wasn't his true belief system. Believe it or not,
Mm,
Hmm.
he wasn't even as Christian based as most would
as
believe,
displayed, yeah.
and that his fight, the propaganda he put upon people was he was more Malcolm than most people would say, and that's all I'm at liberty to speak to. But he was more Malcolm than what he portrayed, and like you said, it was still to our detriment because no one knew that.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But he was more Malcolm than we know.
Yeah.
Shout out to the
Right.
brother.
He tried to see our route probably. He was
Oh
trying to
06 to
see
the
our route.
bros. Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like you know how we say, well, infiltrate route. Maybe I'm not saying I know, but just in my interpretation is maybe he was trying to infiltrate route instead of we fighting against you right in front of your face. You know what I mean? It's different
Yeah,
tactics to
well,
wars. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
his
So
overall his arcing message was before we can first demand anything of them, they have to first see us as equal.
yeah,
So you got to
right,
think in the Constitution, we were 3/5 of a person, and
right,
Hmm.
up until even now, those laws are still in the books. Like that's still in the
Yeah.
Locked
Constitution.
in.
Still there.
And
Hmm.
so I think that his fight to want to be equal was then they piggybacked off of it, and then they turned it into integration when that was never his plan. His plan was never for
right,
us to integrate. It was for us to first be seen as whole U.S. citizens, to then leverage the fact that we are citizens like you. Now you got to pay us as such. And
right,
I
right,
think
right,
that, like you said, it just got lost in the sauce. He got killed because the moment he started actually speaking what he thought, like his last three speeches that led up to his assassination, it's almost as if he knew the moment he about faced that he was gonna die,
Yeah.
which is why he
Yeah.
held it back for as long as he did. But that was always his plan. It's just that he kind of spoke. He prematurely spoke too soon before he could see the dream actually come in fruition. So just a little history lesson for those interested.
yeah.
Let
Shout
me let
out
me ask a
oh
question to
06 to the
everybody else here.
bros. Sure.
Have any one of y'all ever seen what happened to the person that shot Martin Luther King?
Well, that's a loaded question. That's a trick question actually,
It
because
is. It is.
yeah,
It
because
is.
he actually didn't die from the shooting. He was suffocated by a doctor.
I was about to
By
say,
a
I thought he
Right.
was
doctor in
killed
the
in the
Yeah, he
hospital.
hospital.
never
Yes.
died. Yeah, he never
He never
died. But
died there.
hmm and the
But
government
the
actually
person
did
that,
cop to it. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, but the person that allegedly shot him, nobody ever heard of his conviction.
Nope.
How come?
That's because that was a CIA hit. That was a hit.
Same
That
thing.
was, that's
Same
a
thing with
hit.
J.F. Kennedy. Same thing with Malcolm X. Same thing with Medgar Evers. Lee. All of these brothers. Every one of them that was standing up for us. Every one of them. It's the same thing. It was planned to let these people show their face, make us unite in some form of way, then kill them.
Oh
Show
yeah.
you that I got the power to show y'all that y'all can unite and I can take it from you. This is America. It's the bloodiest country on the planet.
Carrot and the stick. That's a fact. That is a fact. The carrot and the stick, man. Like that was heavy. We're gonna get right into the next video, which The lady in the first video referenced this economist, and he's going to speak more to the layers. But before I bring it up, let me bring the banner of the last. No, I'll keep that question up because it kind of ties right into this video. But let's get to it.
Today, I'm speaking with Bill Spriggs. He's a professor of economics at Howard University and the chief economist for the AFL-CIO. Hi, Professor Spriggs. Thanks so much for joining me. Can the Fed do anything to close the racial wealth gap or employment gap? Is that their job, or is that something Congress should be more involved in?
Well, the Fed plays a definite role because when you run the economy at actual full employment, then everybody finds jobs. When you see a group of people not having a job, then you either have to wave your hands, which is what many economists would prefer that the Fed do. The mechanisms that create friction in the labor market that make it harder for Black workers, for older workers, for the long-term unemployed to get attached to the labor force, those frictions are tied to inefficiencies within the labor market, some of which can be corrected when you get closer to full employment. So we know that Black workers face discrimination. Discrimination costs less when you're not at full employment. In the economy, the unemployment rate for white high school dropouts is below the Black unemployment rate, which means that white high school dropouts have it better than a lot of Black people. And so at its extreme, when we have a really poor labor market, white high school dropouts do better than Black people with associate degrees. When the labor market tightens, that's not true. Blacks with associate degrees do better than white high school dropouts. The argument that the Fed makes is if you run the economy at full speed, just like an NBA team, if we run really hard, I have to get somebody off the bench because even the best NBA player in as excellent condition as they are, they cannot play 48 minutes every game. They can't.
Yeah.
And somebody has to come off the bench.
Yeah.
And their argument is that the people on the bench are on the bench for a reason. They're not the starters because they don't know how to play. And so the more I put the people on the bench on the court, then eventually the worse we're going to be. That's what we do when we have these Black workers with associate degrees sitting around looking for jobs. We put some of the best players on the bench, and we're not putting them on the court.
How does implicit bias impact economic data and therefore policy?
Implicit.
We'll stop that there, man. That was
Damn, that was a bar.
yeah, bro. Went there, bro.
So you got your best players on the bench.
So I'm gonna just get y'all reaction to the video. Keep in mind, does racism keep Black people poor, and does the government help keep people in poverty? And based on the video, let's go with Wardy. What were your thoughts on the video and just poverty, Black people, the government, and racism?
I think all of those things you name go hand in hand in some form, like, racism, poverty, I think race, if it's economically based off racism, then of course it would want to keep whoever you being racist against in poverty and below the threshold, and you know what I'm saying? So,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Bino, what are your thoughts on the video and just poverty in general? And systemic racism.
Yeah, man, racism is the main reason why the economy in America is what it is. The economy, the economy that we do when we spend money amongst each other, it'd be totally different if it wasn't for racism. But being that I've been aware, I think pretty much everybody in the panel, we pretty much in the field of being aware of some of these things that these videos been showing. So for me, it's like I don't even gonna repeat what they said over. Of course, we know this stuff. It's been systematic. So it's like what we do. Like that's my whole. That's been my thing. The whole show that keep that my mind keep wanting to say is what we do. Like so now that once we become aware of these things that I think a lot of people is aware of,
I don't think so.
maybe not. But
I
all
don't
right,
think
for the
so,
ones
Bino.
that wasn't aware and now
I'm gonna
you
keep
are
it real.
aware, you know what I'm saying? If you came, you know, aware through this segment itself, it's like I would want to talk to them. It's like, man, you got to change the way we look at this dollar, bro. Like because they're not. My point is they're not going to do anything to change what they've been doing since they've been doing it.
Because it's
They're
been
going to
working
make
for
it
them.
worse. They're not going to retract and try to make it better for us. It's not happening. Get that fantasy out our mind. It ain't gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Ain't no rich celebrity. Ain't no rich ass nobody. Ain't no rich black Jesus. Ain't no rich MLK or Malcolm X about to come save us neither. You know what I'm
That
saying?
part. That part.
It's us, man. It's us against them for real. It's us
Oh
against them.
God. CJ, what are your thoughts? You muted, brother.
First off, let me say for the video, I know for a fact there are people that they're in supervisor positions, and there's that superintendent or that head superintendent that uh he's obviously, and no matter how hard that supervisor works, no matter how much better they obviously are to that superintendent, they never gonna get that spot. They never gonna get that. I don't care who it is. You can kiss all the ass you want. You know what they're gonna do? Instead of you getting that spot to get that promotion, they're just gonna give you a little pay raise. That's all. Just hey man, you making like not you making like 85,000, man. You've been doing so good with the company, man. You this, that, and the third, blah, 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 blah. Especially if you young and you fast track and that supervisor, that superintendent that's above you is getting up there in age and they need to go ahead and hit that knock on that retirement door. Come on now. They not gonna promote you. You know what they gonna do? Because you not the same color as them, and because they got a buddy system. That's the thing that really kill you when they got the buddy system. When all the big boys that's up there above you, they all best friends with each other. You ain't in that circle. You're not gonna get that promotion. You know what you're gonna get? A little pay raise, a little increase in your paycheck, and they're gonna pat you on your back. Hey man, let's go get some beers later on, man. Congratulations, man. That
They
no,
job
man.
in they job in the solar industry for 8 9 years, and that's exactly what they do. And not
See,
only do they not give you a raise, not only do they give you a raise and not the promotion, but they bring that 22, 23, 24 year old white boy out of college,
boy,
put him right in your spot, and then tell you to train him.
to
You
be
will
your
train your
boss.
replacement. You know what?
That's wild.
I think that to speak to you all's points, I think the way around it is you have to understand the role you play in this and play the system back on itself. Meaning, I'm gonna work your job, I'm gonna take your pay raise, but fuck your title because either I'm gonna get enough experience to then change course and I might go to your competition. I'll go work for your competitor at even a higher salary. Fuck what you call me as long as the paycheck clear. My name looks the
And
same no matter the position. But again, we gotta know how to navigate around what we think we're worth, right? And also, too, this is something I tell everybody. I had a conversation with my bro about this today, about being frustrated with those ahead of him. We have to hold to task those that are in authority above us at our jobs. Meaning, if you don't give me the raise or if you don't give me the promotion, cool. But I need 5 actionable items that we can both measure, you as my leader and supervisor and me as the worker, that I can hit in 6 months. And a lot of times we don't ask the right questions to nail these people down in their bullshit. We take it, we suck our teeth, we get the fuck out the meat, and then we complain to the other coworkers that can't do a damn thing for us. Nope, never me. Well, I don't know, Jerron, blah, blah, blah. All right, well, great. I'm not where you want me to be. I need 5 actionable things that I can do in the next 6 months where we can revisit this. Cool? Or 3 months, 2 months, whatever it is. But the moment you give me that number, the moment you give me these actionable items, I'm gonna go ahead and set the next meeting for the very time frame that you said it would take for me to do. So a lot of times it ain't even about what they're trying to do, it's how you can circumnavigate what they're doing. Because we know it's there. Like you
Yeah,
said,
that's
Bino,
better
I've
than my
seen that
solution.
shit.
That's
Yeah, you
better
know
than
what I'm
my
saying?
solution. Cause what I did, I dipped on their ass every single time.
He
So that's
said,
better
"Fuck
than
it, I'm
me.
out."
Yeah, I go to the next one. Then the next ones take me. Every time I moved to a new company, it was for the position that I was supposed to have at that company. I ain't even give
Yep.
them time to give me no sits. When you see what the fuck I've been doing, I ain't give you sits for
Mm.
shit. I'm gone. You feel what I'm saying?
I can respect it. That makes
But
sense.
your way is better though. I'm a little bit
I
more.
like I
You
like
know what I'm
both. I
saying?
like both, bro, because like you said,
Yeah.
if you're not gonna pay me my worth, I'm gonna go somewhere else that does. Or
Hmm.
while I'm still filling out them job applications, I'm gonna leverage the fact that you don't think I'm there to get more training. Because you don't have to see my value. But I'm gonna utilize the fact that you don't see my value to make me even more qualified for the next person.
Yeah.
So if you say some
You
shit
right.
like, "Oh, bro, you're not a manager yet," all right, well, could you recommend some courses I can take? Because a lot of times these companies will pay for you to go back to school. They'll pay for these certifications we're talking about. Use the fact that you don't think I'm qualified, and I'm going to overqualify for the next position. I'm gonna do it on your dime, so we can play this
Hmm.
game. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? But pinning people down to actionable things, because we all know as black men, as black people, we're up to the task. Tell us what you need, right? But sometimes we have to even remove what we know to be going on and hold these people to actionable items. A lot of times when we're not given that promotion, we're not given that raise, we don't even stop to ask the why. Or there isn't anything measurable so they can say shit like, I just don't think you're there, or I don't feel like, or you're not quite, you know what I'm saying? They give you all this bullshit
That
language,
bullshit.
you know what I'm saying, just to
And
keep you pissed enough, and they do it PC enough to where it won't be questioned about anyone higher than them. This is why I hold them fuckers a task. You're gonna give me some itemized actionable items, and once the meeting is over, I'm gonna then forward an email to both you and your fucking boss and say, per our conversation, you stated that if I were to do blah 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 in 6 months, we'll revisit my promotion. I look forward to talking to you in 6 months when I knock out this list, and I'm putting your boss in on it. Cause now somebody gonna have to explain something to me, or y'all gonna let me the fuck go. Respectfully.
yeah, and I think it's in order for people to do that. What you saying is what a lot of people I see do too. Because I've been a lot of little different places. Stop attaching your job so personal. Y'all get too comfortable with your job. Y'all
Right.
get comfortable with the supervisor because he let you get off work a little early. You get
Right.
comfortable with your coworkers, make them the best of friends. And now all these different attachments that you made that has nothing to do with the better of your future
Yep.
financially, you
Yep.
make you not want to leave and transition over.
Yep.
Even though you know you getting done dirty. Business is business. And business
Right.
could be personal if you allow it to be. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Comfortable with mediocrity.
Like
Accepting
Stratus said, you
mediocrity.
gotta go. This shit gotta be business. I don't care how cool, bro. You know how many managers or bosses, supervisors I had text me like mad with me personally because I transitioned over. But you was the same dude that act like you couldn't do what I need you to do for me.
Mm-hmm.
So we were cool, yeah. But bro, this was always business, my brother. You feel what I'm saying?
Facts.
Hmm.
And I think every day somebody go to their 9 to 5, that's how they need to look at it, man. You know what I'm
This
saying?
is
Like
business,
straight up, I don't
dog.
care how tight we is. Once my worth is overvalued here and you're not providing me my value, I don't care if I've been
Get the
here for
fuck
15
on.
years.
Mm-hmm.
Bye, nigga. You feel what I'm saying? So, you know
Right.
Facts, bro.
what I'm saying?
Somebody was
Hmm.
about to say something. I ain't want to interrupt it, but yeah, we was going. That was one of those. Did somebody say so? I thought somebody
Nah,
had a question. Okay, my bad, my bad. But I was definitely tapped in because that's very personal to me, man. Y'all don't know how many positions I've
Facts.
done that with. Like I will bounce the fuck around, and people are like, "Yo, bro, you are crazy. Like you was just there 5 6 months, bro." It didn't take me that long to realize that this is a lateral job at best. You motherfuckers are gonna give me more hours and work me to the fucking bone. You have no intentions on promoting me. What the fuck am I gonna do here besides I'm gonna just eat up all your skills? I'm gonna be building my resume, and again. Another tip for y'all. I update my resume as soon as a motherfucker hire me. As soon as I get the job and I get on literally the day that y'all like, congratulations, you got the job, that shit goes on my resume right then. Everything I do after that will be updated while I'm at that job. I always revamp my resume as soon as I get another job. Cause I'm not finna play with y'all. You ain't gotta see my value. And again, I'm gonna try my best to come to some type of an agreement with you to make you see my value. I'll even step it up for you. Because if you don't recognize it, I promise you, your competition will. They always do. They always
Hmm.
do. They
Mm-hmm.
always do. But like you said, knowing your worth and not attaching it to those that oppress you and not screaming in their ear for too long when you realize that they're not listening.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That part. But yeah, that was super passionate for me, man. My bad.
Me too, man.
Well, I
I
said
you know what I
y'all
mean? I
two
getting those
were going
bags,
in.
bro. But
For
like,
real,
I
bro.
don't be liking that shit, man. And like you said, I think
Mm-hmm.
it's just like,
I'm over
it's
here
just shit we
like, I
don't
ain't, I
know,
ain't, I ain't
bro.
got to deal with that. Hold up now.
Bro, it's real out here, bro. It's dog
Yeah,
eat dog
man.
out this bitch,
They
man.
need me.
What do y'all be saying? Bars. No, I'm
Bars.
playing. Fucking bars. That was a bar. Duly noted. Shout out to
Hey, when
Shakidra,
y'all started
man.
going in, I was over here trying to be like, no, I ain't in that category.
Yeah,
They,
bro.
they, look, the day I finally say, yeah, you know what, man, I think I'm about to call this. What? No, no, sorry, no, Playboy, don't call me sorry. Call me CJ. I'm civilian as fuck. Like, I'm high. Like, my
Yeah.
ears hurt, my head hurts, man. I'm 30, feeling like I'm 90 when I leave this thing, man. Come on, man. My body
Yeah.
be good, but up here be about to get shooken up, man. I can't keep doing that. Mm.
Oh God, man. But like I said, man, know your worth and demand your worth. Because if you don't demand it, they're gonna set it for you. And you're
Oh
not
yeah.
gonna like the price. Ever.
The price is. I was always told when you getting paid hourly, make sure the price is worth the hour. When
Yep.
you get paid salary, the price will never be worth the salary.
Never.
Never,
Never.
never,
They will
never,
always overwork you and they're gonna always find ways to leverage
never.
you. They'll find a way to even structure your shit the way, even though you salary, yeah, we recommend that you be here at this time and we recommend you leave at
Boy,
that time. Well, that ain't how salary works, God damn it. I could be here for
it
three
took.
hours. You're supposed to pay me the same. What
Right.
is my workload? And that's how you get around that. So if y'all got jobs that do that shit to you, the way they trying to enforce uh the hours you should be at work and your salary, the next thing you should ask is, what are my milestones for my daily production? What do you expect of me? So if I can do that in a time that's shorter than your whatever, then technically as a salary worker, I met my requirements. I'm going to fuck home.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Right.
But if you don't know that, then you know what I'm saying, you be stuck doing some dumb shit and it's like, well, damn it, you might as well make me back hourly because I make more that way anyway fucking with y'all because you got me here
Hmm.
for 10 hours.
Right.
Hey, I got a homegirl that she's like mad cool. She works at like a chicken plant. And she was a supervisor. I forgot how much she was making salary, but she recently found out that at that company they have a form that you can fill out where instead of you like, because usually if you're a salary and they want to demote you, they don't demote you, they just fire you because you salary. They're not going to knock you back down to a regular employee, but they have a form out there where you can step down or basically demote yourself to an hourly person. She found out about it, filled out that form, and now she's a jack driver, but for the amount of hours that she was at that company, physically in that company's building, to the moment she leaves, for that same amount of hours doing hourly as a jack driver, she makes about $300 more a week, not bi-weekly, a week. So it's
Hmm.
about $600 more now just being a jack driver than what she was doing as salary. So yeah, sometimes that salary thing. It took two bonuses for me to finally feel like this is worth it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So no, that salary thing, it can be shaky.
And you better stick them up. You better stick them up. When they all start talking that salary shit, you better drain them for every dollar if you going to do it. My bad. I know we're off topic, but on topic because this all speaks to poverty and systems, right? But
Hmm.
this
Right.
is all good shit, and I love it. Now, we're going to get straight to what Bino want to get to, the actual the bulk of the conversation. Let's actually start getting some solutions. I got two videos I want to play, and we'll pause after the first one and get y'all thoughts, and then we'll go from there.
I want to hear shit from you talking about you being broke. If you're not working in 60 hours minimum a week that you're getting paid for, turn off YouTube, Instagram, whatever, and get your ass out there. Go down there and work at McDonald's, Circle K, get you a job. I don't care about your pride. You can't be proud and broke at the same time. Go work, work and work and work, and then you take that money you make from your part-time job, invest some of it, invest most and take half of it, invest it to your future. The other 50%, the other percentage, take some, have some fun, go buy you a belt, then invest it in self-improvement. Get you a high income skill, get you something that's going to give you high value skills that you can market on, that you can leverage on the marketplace. whether you're working in corporate America or whether you're going to be doing your own entrepreneurial thing in the future. But men, if you're working, the harder you work, the luckier you get, the more exposure you get.
Mm.
Shout out
God
to the
damn
late
it,
great
my
Kevin
boy
Samuels, a
Kevin
godfather.
Samuels don't miss.
You know what I mean? You hear me? So,
And
based on the video, man, let's get to it. Let's get to it. What are some of the solutions to poverty for black people? Let's go with Bino.
What are some of the solutions? It's too many solutions, but I just touch on it's so many solutions. It's crazy. So I know we all gonna touch on a little bit of something. So I touch on what GF Samuel said. Um, man, go to work. And the reason why I say that, cause I was just thinking the other day, right? I'm like, shoot, I'm straight, but I need more. I said, man, besides Monday and Wednesdays, I'm about to Uber, Instacart, Lyft. I'm about to do everything. You know what I'm saying? Like the extra free time I got don't need to be free because I want more. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not you like based on what the taxes say, I'm not even considering poverty, you know what I'm saying, income. But I still want more. So for the ones that have less and the ones that I have less than as well, I want just as much as anybody else can get. You feel what I'm saying? If anybody else can get it, I want just as much as anybody else can get because I know it's accessible. Like so that's my
Mm-hmm.
thought process of not being in poverty. If another human being can do it, and they come from all different walks of life, from less than us, some come from a little bit more, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So my mind is want more. Like want more. Like literally want more. Like don't look at somebody else that has it and say I want what they got, but want more
Mm-hmm.
for yourself because you've seen it's accessible. You know what I'm saying? Like that'll be a start from coming out of poverty. And when you start really desiring more, I think you'll cut certain things out naturally. For for some people, not all. It's a little tougher for some than others, but you get what I'm trying to say. Like
Yeah.
the actual
Mm-hmm.
desire to want to be better, the actual belief in the knowing that you can be in a better situation. You know what I'm saying? To know that, I think certain things that get cut out, maybe. You know what I'm
Makes
saying? Like
sense. Makes sense.
so that's a that's a mind state to have to come out of poverty. That's a solution. I'm just talking about a mind state solution. Like change the mind state, deprogram. Like understand that they making it look cool to be poor. Like they are using that against us. Like so when we these music, enjoy the music, but understand that the message is not for you. The message is to keep is for them to keep you where they need you to be because they make poor look cool. You feel what I'm saying? When people talk
Mm-hmm.
about the struggle, it sounds cool in the song. You feel what I'm saying? So then when they get enough money to get a chain or a car, that's all they want you to do. Once again, you're spending that money that you got back with them again. You know what I'm saying? When they talk about the clothes they wearing, you don't hear no artists except for few far in between. The Jay-Z's talk about acquiring land. Rick Ross, you know, you hear the OGs talking about it, acquiring land and acquiring wealth and acquiring businesses. Like we talk about why do we buy these clothes? Look what I'm wearing, man. I ain't gonna front. You feel me? This is a few $100s I could have saved. You feel what I'm saying? So I always like to say I ain't separated from nobody. You feel what I'm saying? But being aware is why I'm so passionate about it because you know better. Like I'm aware. You feel what I'm saying? You know what I'm
Makes
saying?
sense.
So
Fact.
I
yeah,
like it.
man, just the mind state, man, for real, man.
Let's go to CJ. What are some solutions to poverty for black people?
all right, solution number one. First things first, don't buy materialistic things that don't benefit your life, especially at a young age. It's I don't get why people go out their way to buy. I have never understood why people buy a Gucci belt. When I finally saw how much that costs, are you fucking retarded? $180 for a belt? Boy, if you don't go to Walmart, look, don't buy materialistic things that do not actually benefit your life. If it don't benefit your life, don't buy it. The expensive shoes, the expensive clothes. Why? Because they name brand, because you can put them on Instagram, take a photo, and you never wear it again because you don't want to mess it up. You're stupid. Don't do that. Number two, whatever money that you do save, invest in certain things that have incentive, come with residual income, passive income, stuff like stocks, Bitcoin. I know they seem like they risky, but hell, you'll get more benefits doing that than just buying a pair of Jordans that you're gonna mess up in about a month. I just don't understand that.
That's real.
The third thing I would definitely say is men with kids take time out your life to learn about finances so you can teach your children about finances. Because a
Right.
lot of us never got taught finances. And by the time we got taught, we was already in debt. We had already made too many financial decisions that ruined us, royally fucked us up in the long run. Not no short-term fuck ups. They were long-term fuck ups for us. So men with children, take time to learn about finances and then teach your children about finances. As much as you know, they need to know and as soon as possible. So I would say those things right there.
That's a
Materialistic things
bar.
that don't benefit your life, don't do it. The money that you do save from not buying those materialistic things, invest in things that can give you passive income and learn everything about finances and teach your children about finances.
That's a bar. Woody, what are some solutions to poverty for black people?
Oh man. I think the brothers really touched on a lot of, mindset and, the way we spend and what we spending on. I think that's two big powerful things, in that. But I think just I really think that's what I'm saying, that kind
That's
of,
it. Yeah.
attests to it. The way we think about money, the way, you know, I think saving, having insurance policies, what I'm saying, some of, that's something that I didn't, speak about. But like having insurance, and everybody gonna die one day or another. So why not, set your family up with, 100,000, million, possibly dollars. You know what I'm saying? When you pass away to help. You know what I'm saying? That's, has been a way that, other people have gained financial freedom generationally. Like, you know
So
what I'm
many
saying? By having, you know
things.
what I'm saying?
So many things
It
coming to
ju-
my mind as you speak, bro.
right.
Hey, can I
Let me
just
let me
budge real quick? I
go
just
ahead,
want to
bro.
just budge on
Hmm.
something Wardy said. It's crazy that you said that because I was just watching an interview. I think it was Drink Traps, and I forget which person it was. We just talking about that, like how he chilling around. He around kids that walked into generational wealth, and he was like, "Well, how they act?" He was like, "Man, you wouldn't even know they got bread." He's like, "I'm talking about my peers, business wise, are people that I'm old enough to be their father or grandfather."
Right.
That's
That's a
crazy.
fact.
So he had to be an older dude, 50, 60 some year old. Imagine your business partners as a black man, the only business partner that's on your level, because he had got to a certain level where your business partners and your friends and your peers is 21, 22, 23, ain't never had to live for nothing in their life. They just, so it just goes on what you were saying about the generational thing, bro. It's crazy how it can be, man.
All right, so a few things came to my mind, and I'm gonna get some real actionable shit. Like, this is all great advice, but I got a real actionable thing. If you know you're not making the money you want to make, right? And I know people that are in impoverished situations that can buy Jordans. I got an idea. That $285 that you were gonna use to buy Jordans, this is what I would suggest you do with the money. Take that $285 and invest it in Jordan stock. Let the stock sit for about 2.5 to 3 weeks prior to the release date. What normally happens is with the influx of the release of Jordans, the price of the stock goes up. Put the money into the actual stock itself, invest. Once the money doubles or triples, then not only can you buy the pair of Jordans, but you just made money off of buying Jordans. If you're going to be
Mm,
materialistic, the first thing you should probably do is invest in the very brands that you love, because if you love it, someone else loves it, right? So you can use the
right.
fact that we live in a materialistic world, and you can literally, as an opposed to, let's say if I want a Gucci shirt but I can't afford it, and it's $500, I can put $100 in a Gucci stock and let it sit till it get to 500, then buy my shirt and then leave the rest in. So not only did I pay myself for wanting that shit, the stock Gucci bought my Gucci shirt for me. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Because if
Hey,
you have the money,
swear to God, bro. Yo, that shit
think
fire,
about
bro.
it.
I'm about to go.
He said that shit is fire. Bro, think about it.
What?
If you
Nah,
took
he right. He
280,
right. He
if you
right.
took $285 and invested it in Jordan a week before you knew the release date for the new colors was gonna come out, if you just held it for that week, 9 times out of 10, if you're not in a drawing, you probably not gonna get the shoes no way. That's gonna go to the bots and the first people that stand in line. Bro, you let that shit sit for a week or two before the release date, your 285 will turn to 600 within the week. Not only can you then buy the shoes, you can buy 2 pair, sell the second pair, and still keep some money in the stock.
No,
What
he
are we
right.
doing? What are we
He
doing?
right.
And that's some shit to where
What
you
are
ain't.
we doing?
You feel me?
What
Like
are
that's
we
some shit to
doing?
where y'all are
Because
What are we
already spending
talking
the
about
money
out here?
anyway. You're already spending the money anyway. You already have the fucking bread. I see the shoes on your feet. You have the $285, my nigga. You are going to spend it, and you still can. But invest it first. Make the brand buy your shoes, bro. Make the brand
Right.
buy your clothes, bro.
Mm-hmm.
One
they ain't
plus
gonna
one
hear
is
that.
two.
They ain't gonna hear
Shit.
that.
Second point, to Wardy's point, life insurance, right? And even bigger than the leaving a policy after someone dies. A lot of times, and I'm going to only speak lightly on this because I haven't done all the research I want to. With life insurance, at a certain amount that you invest in, you can then turn your life insurance policy into your own bank. You can
I was
borrow
thinking
against
that.
the money based on the interest and pay yourself and never get a bank loan again in your life.
Mm-hmm.
That's the next thing
And
I'm trying to learn.
yeah, we're gonna talk about that. That shit is real.
It's the
It
next
really
thing
is
I need to
something.
learn.
Also, too, we as black people, we have to remove the stigma of at funerals. There's always a brother or sister or auntie or uncle that's mad because somebody got more money off a insurance policy than someone else. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
On
Y'all
the
been at
wheel
funerals,
and
they
all that.
arguing over money.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think that the issue with that is that when you know someone is close to expiration, we'll say, investing in those policies in your mother's or your grandmother's, it can definitely um, be a payout to your children and yourself. Before I go any further, I'm sorry, my thoughts interrupted. TK says a bad idea. Never ever borrow against your life insurance. Well, I think the problem with what you're stating is that we've been taught about life insurance incorrectly.
Yeah,
I was
Life
the
about
whole
to say.
thing.
insurance.
I was
Yeah,
about to say. He
it's not
thinking.
I'll
life
He
put you. I'll
thinking.
put it
insurance. We
like this:
talking about.
the wealthy is this is what they do, bro. And when I say
Bro,
about wealthy, I was just watching a 3 hour interview with Waka Flocka Flame to where he said that's all he
hey,
does.
that's all
His
he
whole
did.
like literally, bro, dumped all his money into life
Buddy's making
insurance.
more money off of that than what he did in his whole rap career. He even showed
He
statements
is
for it. In
living
his
off of
whole
his
rap
life
career,
insurance.
he's done
Now,
more money off of that.
now,
I,
now
I
to
wish you can
TK's
do the
Wild.
point,
term for it. You remember
there
the term
is a
for it,
way.
Strata?
IRA.
Infinite
It's
banking
a
or something
certain
like that.
term for the insurance that we
IRA,
speaking
right?
of. That's not
No,
what.
IRA is something different with it. I think it's
Nah,
it's whole it's either whole term life insurance or it's a particular
I
type
think
of
the
Yeah,
nickname is like
insurance.
yeah,
infinite
yeah,
banking or something like that.
Yeah, so to TK's point, you right. You want to make sure that you have the right health insurance
hmm
policy that we're speaking to borrow against, and I do apologize
yeah,
for the misinformation.
yeah.
Um, nah, fellas, too many other people assets to leverage. I will have to get you. I'm gonna get you to come up because I'm gonna get you to cam up because, bro, TK, I work with TK. Like I said, bro, you had to come up on this one, but I'll push back on, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna debate this tomorrow for 3 hours at work. But I'm telling you, bro, like literally,
It
that
is a
is
particular type of insurance that they
there's a
don't teach
particular
us. They
type of
teach
it,
us about that them
right?
assurances that you
You're
talking
right.
about, TK. But there is this a type of assurance that he's talking about. And I wish I could do the term so people can go look at the way he's
There's a
talking about. They
dude.
don't teach us.
There's a
It's like
dude
your
that's on
own bank,
TikTok.
really.
There's a dude that's on TikTok, and I just recently followed him because that's why I say I want to get into it because that's like my next thing I want to do. He does lives where he just like no gatekeeper. He just breaks down how he's been doing it, how him and his homeboys do it, and how you can do it. He's not asking for your money. He's just telling you like, hey, this is how you do it. He gives you the dummified way of doing it. He does multiple lives where he just explains it. Next time I see him on a live, I will make sure I get the link of his name or whatever. I'm gonna sit in the chat. Y'all can like catch him and just watch his shit.
Matter of fact, I did a quick search. It's called Leverage Life Insurance is a unique investment vehicle because it can be partially financed by a bank. Utilizing bank leverage to purchase a larger amount of tax-free income is no different than using a mortgage to purchase a larger home. The amount of income you can generate varies based on your age and investment. That's what I'm speaking to. And
Mm-hmm.
again, there's a couple of different ways. Abrams Insurance Solutions, they show you how to actually leverage your life insurance to build wealth. It lets you grow your cash value faster than your bank's money. You put in
Yeah.
25%, and the banks add 75%.
Yep.
So that's the T
Well,
game.
Damn.
yeah, that shit
Yep.
real.
Like
It's
it,
real
but
tea they don't be talking about for real, but
you
it's
know what I'm
real tea.
saying? Like that's what I'm
Listen,
saying. Like I'm really giving some sauce out right now. It was one
I'm
more.
telling
Damn. Oh, Living Trust. Living Trust.
I think that's
So
the.
the with land trust and living trust, the way that works is if you do purchase a home, right? Um, the idea is that you want to transfer the property of your home, your mortgage, when you pay it off, into a trust for your children. Because
Yeah,
what normally
yeah,
happens
yeah,
is
yeah.
when you
That's the one.
die, your children, they don't only inherit the property, they inherit the property taxes and any debt that was accrued if you haven't paid the property off by the time you die. So, by leveraging any properties and assets you have into a living trust, you're then able to pass it on to any of the trustees or any of the shit, any of the benefactors of the trust. They get passed off to them tax free. Meaning,
Yeah,
if I want to give my daughter a house that I'm gonna own, like one of my multiple houses, we're gonna throw that into the universe. So when I'm owning my multiple houses and I'm gonna pass them on my daughter, I'm gonna do it through a land trust. Meaning, if something were to happen to me, then as the beneficiary of the trust, she can get those properties and won't have to worry about the property taxes. All of the debt dies with me. She is only responsible for the property. So a lot of people that buy these homes, they think they're gonna just pass it on to their kids, and it's like, well, if God forbid, if something were to happen to you and your child inherits the house at 20 and they can't make the property taxes, or if you took a lien out on your mortgage, or if you know what I'm saying, like you try to refinance, now you just put your kids on the hook for a debt, trying to
yeah.
pass on some shit just out of ignorance. And I'm not saying that it's anybody's fault. These are just things we don't know. Like I
Not
think
being taught.
yeah, the entire point of this is financial literacy is the key. That is the solution. A lot of the things, it's not like we can't do them or we won't do them. We don't know to do them,
Right.
right? And I think that that's the biggest solution out of all of this. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
we gotta be more mindful. We gotta literally attach ourselves to those that have more and that's already done these things and make them sit. Like I'm gonna sit you the fuck down and I'm gonna ask you, step one, how'd you do that? Repeat it, write it
Mm-hmm.
down, show it to
Write it
me.
down,
And we gotta get
Can
a,
I
we gotta get amongst those that are wealthier than us.
bro. There's a
and
first sergeant, bro. He told me something, and it was like a week ago. It's around about the time he told me about the guy on the TikTok about the insurance. He said that he said, yeah, you know, you paying mortgage. I said, yeah. He said, hey man, look, something that you need to learn that he said he didn't learn until he read about the creator of McDonald's. He said the reason why that man became a multi-billionaire is not because how many McDonald buildings he had. It was because he brought the land underneath it. He said the land
Mm.
underneath it is what made him the money. He said he would buy the land underneath it and put a McDonald's there. He said, you know, he said 30%, you can Google it now, 'cause I think it's more now. I said 30 or 40% of the land where a Burger King is or a Taco Bell is, they are paying McDonald's to sell right there in that spot. So when you see a McDonald's and then you see like a Burger
Oh,
King across from it, or you see a Taco Bell across from it, odds are McDonald's owns that land. So he says it's not always the house. If you brought the house, yes, you pay a mortgage for a house, but did you buy the land that the house is on top of?
That part,
He said
that
that is two
part.
different things, and that blew my mind to hear that because when people be like, "Oh, I brought 30 acres of land," but they didn't buy a house, then they put the house on the land, so it's technically two different things. So when you go buy a house, you need to make sure that you can see if the house and the land are together. If the house and the land are together, you can have that house. But if somebody so happens to say, "Hey, I got this contract that says I can still get this land," they can tear your house down.
No
Google
facts.
it. They can
Yeah, they
take your,
would.
they
They'll
can
tear
tear
your
your
shit
fucking house
down.
down.
Like, yo, this
You
is
gonna
my
have to
land. Get your
pay it
property the
off.
fuck off my shit. On God.
then
Swear.
I want to build. I want to build even more than that to add on to what Strata was saying. Particularly too, like for the people. Go back to mindset though. Like when we think about buying homes, we think about buying these big beautiful homes, right? We go hard. Some of us make it to a point where we could buy these big beautiful homes. But for the people that's renting, that mindset got to change too. It don't have to. By you owning something, you have more leverage. You have more value by you just owning something. So if you in a 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom apartment or something right now, you paying 1,100, 1,200 a month. You were saying 9 times out of 10, you got to put 2,400 down to get into that joint. Do you know it's a 3 bedroom and 2 bathroom house that you can do the
Fact,
same exact thing with and own
fact,
it and pay
fact.
less mortgage? It
But
don't
then you're
have to. You don't
responsible
have to
for
wait. You
everything.
don't have to wait till you go get a 5, 6,
Yeah.
4 bathroom house with 2 garages and all that. No, you'll be
But
more
be
valuable just
mhm.
transitioning that same money that you paying every month to that apartment complex and go get you a nice little 2, 3 bedroom house somewhere for
And
this
Bino,
that thing and be worth more. You know what I
here's
mean?
here's
So
the key. Here's the other part. Here's a step 2B to owning a home. All homes, just like anything else, has an expiration date and has a threshold. Meaning there's going to be a time to where all the money that you would have saved from owning versus renting is going to come to a head, because once the hot water heater goes, once the shingles on the roof needs to be repaired, you'll find yourself kind of up against the wall if you haven't prepped for it. So I do think you're right. Step one is to own it. Step two is to, if you were leveraging, let's say you're paying 1,300 in rent for a 3 bedroom and your mortgage is 600, still put that 700 to the side, because now you are
absolutely,
responsible for all repairs on the back end. And if you find
Right.
yourself in a situation to where you can no longer leverage what it cost, then it might be best to either rent it. Meaning, once it's already paid off, that would be probably my advice to anybody. If you credit's still good after you purchased the first home and now you got it free and clear, rent that motherfucker. Go buy something else and use the mortgage from the old home. You know what I'm saying? Like, put somebody else in it, let them pay off your new mortgage, and just kind of leverage back and forth. But I think that, like you said, that is a part about ownership that I think a lot of people miss, is because, yeah, the house was cool when you first got it built, but 15 years from now, make sure that you have a emergency fund set up for those big purchases, because they're not gonna come that often, right? Your hot water heater's
When
not
they
gonna go,
come,
but when
boy,
they come,
they
they're a
hurt.
bitch. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
They
So just,
absolutely. But
but
if
like
they
you
paying
said, if
eleven
you
hundred for rent, you could
right,
go get that crib
right,
and pay less. So
facts,
I
and
think
just
went
make
through
sure
from
you
experience,
save the
somebody
difference.
if you're a
Save
first
the
1,500.
time
difference.
homeowner, you're saving them from even having to learn through that by saying what you're
Yeah,
saying. But you're gonna learn that the first time around. You be like,
you're
oh,
right.
because you had enough money to pay 1,300 for the rent, so you're gonna have enough money to get that water heater fixed too.
Bro,
It's
going
just that
from
you're gonna
fifteen
hopefully you
hundred,
don't put your money in
1,500
other
two
stuff that we talking
bedroom.
about, two, three
That's
cars
wild.
and all this stuff. Hopefully you don't put your money into,
Also,
you know.
people, people, this is another bar. Act your wage. At your wage, not at
Mm.
your age, at your wage. A lot of you motherfuckers are balling like rappers with $40,000 incomes. It's okay to live within your means. At your
Right.
wage. You know what I'm
They not.
saying?
They
At
not.
your fucking wage. Don't act your age, act your wage.
Act your tax bracket, you idiots,
Nah, for
or
real.
they kill me.
Home warranties cover all of that. That's shaky. That's
No,
shaky, dog.
sir.
Depends
No,
on.
sir.
No, no, bruh.
Depends on.
I
Depends
just had to
Every
on.
buy a
time.
damn
Hey,
a AC
hey,
unit
hey, do
outside.
you know how much a water
They
heater
don't
costs,
cover
my
none of
man?
that.
A
Yeah,
good
dog.
one,
Yeah.
you pop an 800, and if you don't know how to install it, like me, because I did not, hey, you got to pay somebody to install it. That's a different price. And
YouTube University,
don't let
baby.
it be, what was it, like a nozzle faucet I had to get because the way how it was positioned, I had to pay for that too. Nah, bro, the warranty
Yeah,
don't
go
cover
deep.
all that.
We don't want to unmotivate people when we say
Oh no,
stuff,
not
but
at
at
all.
the
But we want to
same
make sure they
time,
prepared. But
yeah,
like you
but at the
said,
same
No,
time,
no.
once you
Bino,
get all
I
that
feel
stuff
like
this
situated,
is
you
you got
don't
a
just tell
pretty
people the positive. You got to tell them the negative
no.
of owning the house.
But this is what I'm
Like you
saying,
got
CJ. How
land, you
or
got like
often
a
do you got to get
yard.
those things replaced? How often do you got to get those things replaced?
All right, so I got mine replaced once, but I'm just saying that's.
You know what
But
I'm saying? That's
at
all
the end
I'm
of the day,
saying. It's not like
like
it's gonna
Jay
but
always
said,
happen.
you got to put
check
that
this.
money off to the side. Because I
Exactly.
went from when I
That's
was
how
in
you
California,
combine the two.
I was in a 2 bedroom, 2 bath apartment, and it was 1,500 for that, and that was an
Right,
apartment. Then I come
right,
over here into a house, 4 bedroom, 3.5 bath, 860.
right.
Right. Now,
Front yard,
like you
backyard.
said, now see, this is what I mean by acting your wage. Because at the time CJ had adjusted his lifestyle and his budget to 1,500, that means that not Bino, that means CJ already had 1,500 set aside for rent.
Right.
His budget was set up for that. Once you downgrade, you don't take that money and then go spend the other 700 on some dumb
on
shit.
on shoes and Jade. Oh, I got
Right.
extra money. People
No,
kill
you
me with
don't.
that.
Nah, put that
Kill
shit
me.
in somewhere that can, you know what I'm saying, actually help you on the back end. Because think about it, if he was paying that 700 to himself for the difference in his rent, like you said, Bino, that shit never becomes a problem. Because if that shit happen once in a while, if every month he throwing 700, 700, 700, 700 in, you know what I'm saying? Anything that happens to his crib, he's straight. Because like you said, now he can cover the cost. Uh, that was a dope point. Shit, I lost my train of thought, fellas. Pardon self. Fuck. I was going somewhere else with that too. Anyway, yeah, like
You gotta.
yeah, man. Like this is dope, man. Like I said, we're all works in progress. None of us are speaking from a place of we have it all figured out. These are things that we're currently learning. These are things we're currently implementing with each other, man. We just want to tell y'all, man, stay encouraged. You know what I mean? Again, poverty is is just as much of a mentality as it is as a monetary expense. So,
Hmm.
first you got to break the mind. Being broke is a mentality. Those are the wealthy will tell you that all the dollars, all the dollar amount does is it's the it's the after effects of the work they've put in. They
Mm.
don't work for the dollar. The dollar comes based on the work and the passion they put in. I'm gonna let y'all close, man. What we got? What we got, man? Y'all, let's take it on home. Let's bring them to the altar. Wardy, what you got?
Be smart
Final
with your
word.
money, man. Be smart with your money. You know what I'm saying? Invest. Set your future. Set your generation, the next generation up with some bread when you pass away, and just save and invest.
That part. CJ, what you got?
Man, y'all people just ignorant, bro. Like y'all just gotta learn to just not spend money. Luxury. I think people need to learn just what everything that's considered luxury don't mean you need it. The name brand stuff that's got all these high prices, you don't need none of that. You just doing it for the image, the look. You don't need all that. You need to you need to spend your money on stuff that's gonna actually benefit your life, benefit your future. Now, if you into fashion, maybe that stuff, but most motherfuckers ain't into no fashion, bro. So you're not in the fashion industry. You don't need to be spending money on all that. Put your money in the stuff that's gonna actually benefit you in the short and the long run. Passive income exists. Learn it.
Shout out to
That's it,
Wardy.
y'all.
Vino, what you got, man? Take us home. Bring us to the altar. What's up, bro?
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I just want to say, look, first of all, if you happy doing what you do, then do what you do. You know what I'm saying? Like if
Don't
you
fuck
rather have
boom.
more clothes than houses and cars and ownership and wealth, then that's do you. You do you. I think, but if you one of the people who in these situations where you find yourself still down, you find yourself still depressed, still stressed out, you find your spirit not being fed. I think we speaking amongst more of us, those type of people, because you know what I'm saying? That's what this segment is about, and this is what this whole unveiling poverty is about, and bringing awareness and giving opinions and good advice and solutions to it. Now, if you're a person who good where you at with what you doing, you ain't even think about what we talking about. We not talking to y'all. We not trying to down y'all. Be happy at the end of the day. Whatever you do that makes you happy. So if having 300 Jordans and the projects make you happy, absolutely. Nah, for real.
Do your
Where's
thing.
the gunshots?
You know what I'm saying? Now, I really support you if that's you genuinely happy. But for people who want more, trying to do more, this is what I was about. And what all the fellas said today is what we talking about, and that's how I'm closing out, man.
I love it. I
Right.
love it. I love it, man. Well, listen, another great pod brought to y'all by the SPS Podcast. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and check us out here every Mondays and Wednesdays at 6:30. Again, we appreciate you all support. Make sure y'all keep dropping y'all support in the comments, man. We're gonna keep bringing y'all this good content. We got a lot of things we want to speak about. Make sure you add yourself to the SPS community page on Facebook. You can
Right.
hit all of us up on all of our social handles. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram. Reach out to us if y'all have any ideas for shows. Make sure y'all tap in with us there. Y'all can also leave them in the comments. And again, man, we look forward to keep bringing y'all this good entertainment, man. Like I said, we have fun doing it
Hey
with
yo,
y'all. We love y'all. What you
hey,
got,
shouts
Bino?
out to Niggas. We got our first troll That
Nah,
means we
for
in the
real.
right
We
Man,
official.
I was
direction. You know
about
what
to
I'm
We
say,
saying?
I was
official.
gonna let him
Shout out to
finish. I was
niggas,
gonna let him
bro.
finish talking, so I could
Shout
say
out to
whoever the
niggas.
fuck
Our first
niggas
troll,
is
baby.
die,
SPS going in the right direction, boy. Y'all
bruh.
better
Yeah,
stay
we
tuned.
here.
Trip,
You hear
I'll
me?
step on a Lego barefooted, bruh.
Yo, that was hilarious. I ain't gonna lie. At first, I was
He just
really
look
taking it serious
pretty,
because I was like,
bro.
"What the
No
fuck?"
go,
But
no
yeah,
go.
that was hilarious, man. But
That was
hopefully,
a
even
whole nigga.
niggas learn something too, man. You know, we try to be,
Oh, niggas gonna
yeah,
learn.
niggas is gonna
I'm gonna
learn.
tell you that.
Hey, look, hey, Wardy. Hey, Strider, no matter what we do know is niggas gonna be niggas. So,
Niggas
Damn
will
right.
nigga.
Right,
If niggas don't
right.
do
Right.
nothing else, niggas will nigga. On God, boy. You hear me?
Niggas gonna
But
learn. Yeah.
man, I appreciate y'all, man. We tapping out, man. Y'all have a good one. Y'all be blessed, and we'll see y'all next time.
Right, love.
all right,
Love,
gang.
love.